4 girls as young as 15 years old. He wasn't a child. Why are you trying to why are you trying to infantilize him to get him to avoid accountability?
Where are you getting? I never once said he was a child. I just asked you a simple question, and then you tried pivoting it and saying that I said he was a child. This is the third time you tried to do this, bud. I mean, you liberals are pretty good at that. I give you that part. I mean, y'all love pivoting, but you're not very like it goes off too far. If you just pivoted like a 16th of an inch, I know you probably don't know what that is, but you know you'd be all right. But y'all going too far with it, mate.
What was the pivot?
It was on one topic. You done jumped to another one, saying that I said that I said he was a kid. I never said that he was a kid.
Was that not an implication of what you were referencing? You were trying to infantilize Trump, compare him to a child in terms of like, would you hold someone accountable if they did something as a child? Obviously, we wouldn't apply the same accountability to the children as we'd apply to grown adult men like Donald Trump that said that they're going to date 10-year-old girls in 10 years, right? Or, yeah, like, come on, please use your brain, man.
No, because I said that it was how long ago was that, and then that's when I asked you, because you're not very old. That's why I just said, why, as if you was a kid, should you be held reliable for something that you did that long ago?
As a kid, I'm confused why you would bring up a kid. What's the point of relevance?
In your circumstance, because of how long ago it had been. It's been like 20, 30 years probably for him, right? I know you're not even that old, so it'd be like
Should adult men be held accountable if they did something 30 years ago? Yes.
Why wasn't it brought up 30 years ago, though?
Because, or one, it was 23 years prior to the fact that she filed it. All right, and it is the case that specifically she didn't want her parents to have to go through specifically hearing this story. There's plenty of social stigma that exists within society, right, in which it is the case that women are not believed, which is exactly what you're perpetuating right now by engaging in this, even after the fact that there's a civil court that determined this. Push the galaxy.
So wait 30 plus years, or?
Well, many victims take decades to come out. Well, I'm confused. Yeah. Do you not think that it's common for victims to take decades to come out?
Well, usually, I mean, in the right state of mind, I wouldn't think that it'd take that long. It's just kind of weird where it plays out. You know, you got to run for president, and now you have all these accusations.
Okay, so for most victims, or many victims, it is the case that it takes them decades to come out. It takes them a lot of time to come out, and they don't come out right away because of the social stigmatization in our society, right? Of people not believing women, right? Of not believing people who've been assaulted.
What, are you drunk, man?
What's up?
Are you drunk?
Am I drunk? No.
Yeah.
Why?
No, I got you. All right, go ahead. My bad.
Why'd you ask me that?
Because I stuttered a couple of my words, and then you just did, so... And you asked me if I was drunk, so I was just making sure he wasn't drunk.
It's not based on stuttering at all. It's based upon the way that you're referring to things and what you're saying. Right? Like that's how I would evaluate. I'm like, you're not making any sense. How did I not make sense? Yeah, I can't hear you right now.
Yep.
I hear you now. You got nothing?
What was it you brought up, bro?
What?
What was it that you brought up?
What were we just talking about? Do you remember? It is 5 o'clock somewhere, I tell you.
I swear I'm not drunk, dude, but I forgot.
Well, that makes this worse, man. Well, then, this is you sober?
Not drunk, I guess you could say.
This is you sober?
I'm off that fucking... That pinger, man.
Dude, I just want to let you know, I'm elevated right now, and you're getting dunked on. How does it feel, man? As we speak, and you're getting absolutely dunked on.
Hey, add
intellectually dog walked. How does it feel, man? What's that?
Add Charlie Kirk in the chat, bud.
Charlie, wait, say that one more time.
I said add Charlie Kirk in the chat, bud.
I would. He's not in the chat. He's scared to debate me.
All right, bro. You take it easy.
Run away. Disgusted veteran. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Guest was horrible. Let's go on to the next person. Woot woot. Thank you so much for the galaxy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy, thank you so much for the $100 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Kathy. Give me some W's for Kathy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it, Kathy. W's for Kathy in the comment section right now, as well as Shirley. Thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words. W's for Kathy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Kathy. Seriously, W's for Kathy in the comments. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18. Yes, I do support Donald Trump. 10/17/2006.
10/17/2006. Okay. And why do you support Donald Trump? Is there a way you can go to a place with a little less wind? Is that possible?
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Anyways, I support Donald Trump because he's done a lot for our country in and out of being president of the United States. As for things that he has done, I don't know specific things because I'm not like intellectually aligned with everything that he's done. But I will tell you that the things that he has done compared to the things that he has done for our presidency and for our economy has completely changed that outcome between people in this world and people not in this world. Are you understanding me? Do I need to change?
People not in this world?
Yeah.
What people are not in this world?
The ones that are dead.
Okay.
Like he didn't make things to kill people. He intentionally was trying to protect people.
Who? Trump?
Yes.
You said
he
Trump?
Was trying to protect he's trying to protect our economy. As to other people in the society, they don't. Biden, he's killed thousands of people with just the needle that they chose for vaccination of the COVID-19.
Oh, okay. So you think that Joe Biden killed people by the vaccine? Okay, well, I have a question for you.
It wasn't him.
Well, I have a question for you. Who did Operation Warp Speed?
Wasn't that Elon?
What? Elon? No, Operation Warp Speed was under Donald Trump's presidency, and it was fast-tracking the development of the vaccines. So that was actually under Trump's administration. It was something he advocated for. You know, that's literally going to mean that under your worldview, you think that Trump killed people, right?
Okay, yes, Trump has killed thousands of people, but for justice.
For justice? What do you mean? What? You're trolling,
okay,
right?
So
you're trolling. You know that vaccines are not... That's a ridiculous thing to say about vaccines. I just want to let you know.
I don't think the
vaccine saves lives.
I don't think the vaccine was for killing people. I actually do believe he was trying to help people. If what you are saying is factually evidence, then yes, there's probably proven evidence to back up the reasoning on which he
there's
was
a bibliography in my bio that's like 30 plus pages of straight peer-reviewed studies that show the effectiveness of just the COVID vaccines. I'm serious.
Right, and the COVID vaccine was distributed to humanity by Biden's administration, not by Trump's. That's what I'm saying.
But yes, the process was set up by Trump.
No, yes, he was trying to set it up. And then that's where they came and ambushed his system and destroyed it and then tried to kill off people and then blame it on Trump.
What are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm trying to get at.
What are you talking about? No one... Dude, you think the vaccine was killing people?
Yes, sir.
What evidence do you have of this?
Did you not see the news articles of people dying from taking the freaking vaccine? Did you take it yourself?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
You got paperwork?
Yeah.
I do not believe you, but I'm just
What do you
gonna
mean
let
you
you.
don't believe me? You don't believe that I got the vaccine? I did absolutely get the vaccine. And you got to be trolling at this point because the vaccine, right? There was so much evidence to indicate that it was safe and effective. You are literally just whipping shit out of your ass, saying that like there were mass people that died due to the vaccine. You understand that you can't mention a single person in America. Oh, he got removed for community guidelines. He can't mention a single person in America that he could specifically show a causal relation. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, I'm 19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
And what's your birth year?
2006.
What month? Disgusting fucks. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Marie, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's actually crazy that people still are anti-vax. It doesn't make any sense. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello?
How old are you?
25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth? You said what's your birth year again?
2000.
Okay. Policy, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20 from the DNC. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So why do you? Oh, they just left. Troy, thank you so much. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you. If you're Maga, type in the comment section right now. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. If you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
07.
What month?
January.
07 January, and you're 19?
I said 18.
Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump? Why did he leave? What is going on right now? What's going on? If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. It'll help get out to more people. If you're on TikTok, dude, tap that screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay, what's your birth year?
Sorry?
What's your birth year?
07.
And month?
January.
Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump?
I support him because of the border policies. And I'm also anti-vax.
The border policies, and you're anti-vax. Why are you anti-vax?
I'm anti-vax because I actually do know a few people that took the vaccine.
The COVID one?
And COVID. And
Who's whispering
he
into
didn't
your
die.
ear?
What?
Who's whispering into your ear?
I have a few friends next to me.
Yeah, I feel like they're trolling. I'm just gonna kick them. Coral, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Coral. It's a
Yo, 22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, voted red down ballot. I'll talk to you before. You just don't remember me.
Okay.
I
am just looking for people who have not been here yet. You know what? I should probably add that to my list. Have not been on yet. Should I add that to the list? One time only. There we go. We have to add it to the list. All right, there we are, everyone. There we are. Updated list. Look at that. Look at the updated list. How does everyone like it? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 21 from Utah, and I am about 5'11", sir.
Okay, why are you saying you're 5'11"? What's the point of it?
Well, I want to give you all the information, dog.
What's your social security number?
Listen, bro. Listen, dog. You're not that smart.
Okay. So why do you support Donald Trump?
Well, in all essence, dude, I have no support in the political system. So, I mean, if I have a choice and I have the ability to vote, then I'm going to look at both parties and I'm going to say who's a bitch, who's not. And then I'll vote for that person.
One, don't use that fucking terminology. That's disgusting as fuck, dude. That's actually fucking disgusting. You will?
It's a very descriptive
Well, you
term.
will get the fuck off the stream. You will get the fuck off the stream. Taylor, thank you for the $20 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Absolutely fucking disgusting, dude. All right, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No, but I love you. I just wanted to say that.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, everyone. Only send a guest request if you do meet this set of criteria on the screen. Please only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. You want to support me as always? Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio as well as the description of the YouTube. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, good evening, America. I'm 20 years old and I'm 5'8". I have a question. I support Trump because I think he makes America
how old are
great.
you?
I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, he's the best president there is. Let me ask you as well. Why?
Are you American? Because you said like "Hello, America."
Yes, I'm American. Yes.
Okay, what state do you live in?
Washington.
Washington. What time is it?
It's 8:40.
8:40. Really? In Washington?
Yes.
Really? I didn't. Wow. On the West Coast, it's 8:40. Really? I mean, I'm on the West Coast right now, and it's 5:40. That's interesting. Maybe he's a time traveler, chat. You know what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
March.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Chat. I said what state? Washington, D.C. is not a state.
Yes, it is, bro.
No, it's not. Do you want to make it a state?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump?
Actually, as long as Trump wants it, why do I support Donald Trump? Because, like, if you think about it, the amount of, like, criminals and pedophiles and rapists and shit that are coming in from Mexico, like, Mexico only sends their worst people.
Oh.
And
okay.
Donald Trump taking care of it.
Oh, okay. So why specifically just Mexico?
No, what do you? Because I'm just using like a border like.
Why just Mexico? Why not other countries? Why not like Germany?
Okay, if I was talking about other countries, I would say that. I'm talking about Mexico right now. If Mexico brings
one, you were just saying Mexico. Two, as it relates to this, that's ridiculous for
How
you to
does
say
that
that
relate to
because
this?
you literally voted for a pedophile rapist.
Yeah. No, what? No,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
Mexico,
literally. That's who you voted for.
Oh, Mexico, bro. Mexico only sends the worst people to America. Like no.
Okay.
Like some people try to flee it.
Are you saying every? And by the way, Mexico isn't sending people. Are you saying everyone
Yes,
that is?
yes, they are.
Are you
Look,
saying
see,
everyone that
see.
is from Mexico is a bad person?
No, I'm saying Mexico.
Are you saying most
sends
people who come
bad
from
people.
Mexico are bad people?
Yes, Mexico sends
really,
the bad
really?
people.
Oh, okay. So you're saying most people that come from Mexico are bad people? Can you give me any good evidence of that?
No, bro. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So then, wait, can you give me any evidence that Mexican immigrants specifically have a higher rate of crime?
Yeah, look it up on Google.
Yeah, where on Google? You know, Google's just a search engine.
Yeah, if you look it up on Google, it shows you like Google AI and shit.
Where?
But okay, Google's not a book. No, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like,
I'm not finding your source, man.
Yeah, because it's not Google. That's some fucking random ass notebook.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. That's your evidence. That's your source, bro. Thank you so much for the greeting heart. Trust me, please. Can you trust me, man? Please. Please, Google AI, dude. Dude, look it up on Grok. Just ask Grok, bro. Ask a Grok. Where's the little crown? Dude, come on. Listen to yourself right now. Actually provide a source. Actually provide some evidence. You know that you rely on sources and evidence and not just saying, look it up, bro. What's up?
I don't have 3 monitors in front of me telling me like I can't.
I don't have 3 monitors either.
You had a whole gaming setup, bro. Yes, you do.
I don't have 3 monitors.
What you got? 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
1,
you can
2.
use one of them. Look it up.
Well, how about you use your phone to go look it up, and I'll talk to other people.
Because I'm trying to debate you. What's the point of debating you?
Then provide some evidence. You can't just like come up here and say bullshit for no reason.
Okay,
call everything else fake news, not accept it, and then provide no evidence yourself.
Never said fake news. Never said fake news.
Well, I have a question. Do you have better evidence to accept what you're saying right now, or that Eugene Carroll was sexually assaulted?
Like, what are you even talking about?
Do you have better? I'm just asking.
That's the thing with you liberals, bro. That's the thing with you liberals.
Oh, he can't respond to this one. Look at that. He accepts this, but he has less evidence.
Y'all just be
way less evidence.
Okay, why don't you change the subject and then we can talk about something else?
No, we don't have to change the subject. You should address that specifically.
Okay, since you don't want to change the subject,
which has more evidence? The one you have no evidence for right now, right? Or the civil case where 9 jurors unanimously determined that Trump sexually abused Eugene Carroll. Which one? Which one has better reason to believe it?
Immigrants right now. I ain't talking about Eugene.
Eugene. You don't even know her name.
Okay, sorry, I don't know her name. I'm talking about immigrants right now.
Yeah. And you're not saying anything intellectual. You're saying that immigrants specifically coming from Mexico are the worst of the worst. Yet it is the case you have no evidence to indicate this. It's just straight bigotry. It's just straight xenophobia. Like that's all it is.
Man, you just saying all these big words. You don't even know what they mean.
Nice projection you got there, buddy. I do know what they mean. They are not big words either.
Anyway, back to the immigrants. Back to immigrants. They come into this country. They don't pay taxes. They don't.
Undocumented immigrants paid $100 billion in taxes in 2022. I just want to let you know that. 1, 2, as it relates to this. If you want undocumented immigrants to pay more in taxes, give them a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country. But maybe those were too big of words for you to understand.
Slow down.
Oh yeah, were they too big of words for you to understand?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
Wait, where do you live?
I live in LA.
That explains it. Yep.
What do you mean? I grew up in Iowa, bro.
You grew up in Iowa?
I grew up in a Christian conservative household in Iowa.
And so what changed you?
Facts, reality, evidence.
Facts and reality.
Yeah, critical thinking skills. Wow. Insane, right? Critical thinking, right? Compassion, empathy.
Compassion.
Wow. Honesty. That's something that led me to the position I am in right now.
What position are you in right now? You sit at home and debate people on TikTok Live for a living.
Yes, absolutely. And are you jealous?
If you get out into the real world and got a real job.
Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
What's your real job?
I work construction. I own a construction company.
Okay, you own a construction company, so you're self-employed, right?
Yes.
You know I'm self-employed too, right? So
yeah,
do I have a job? Do I have a job? What's a real job? He got kicked for some reason. Okay, chat. I gotta hit a restart, everyone. That's 2 flags on the stream. I gotta hit a restart. I'm sorry, everyone. Everyone here on YouTube or TikTok, go over to YouTube. I'd really recommend to do that. We have to hit restarts every 2 flags. It's just unfortunate, but we have to do it. Maudie, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $4.20. Thank you so much. Type in the comment section when I hit a restart. Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Mary. Thank you. Max with the $2. Thank you so much. Max said for Sid to answer. Sid, if you're listening. Sophia, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. For my best friend Mia, please read this note. I got you. Ethan, thank you so much for the $10. Emily with the $15. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Emily. Let's go on. And thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. If you're 18 plus, if you're American, and you've never been on the live before, you can send a guest request. Otherwise, you can watch the stream. Otherwise, I recommend watching the stream. All right, we're going to start getting some more people up here to debate. Everyone joining back in, I really appreciate you joining back in. Everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining in on YouTube. I really appreciate it. We're going to get the next debate up here really quickly. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump, everybody. If you meet the set of criteria listed on the screen here on TikTok. Alrighty, let's go on to the next person here real quick. Only send a guest request if you do meet the set of criteria on the TikTok screen. Miss Icon, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Absolutely, absolutely. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
I got James hot chicken, like the hottest thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's just someone in the background, so I immediately got scared and kicked them because it's just like I've had too many guests just say crazy things. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
31.
Do you support Donald? Can you turn off the background noise?
Yeah, sorry.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you're how old again?
31.
Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump?
I think, me personally, and I think a bunch of people that voted for him, the reason why he won is for what he, said he could do, not necessarily, he hasn't shown it yet, but, make the economy better, lower gas prices. I do agree with, deporting immigrants, undocumented immigrants. Don't necessarily like the way he did do that, but I do agree with that. There's a lot of different aspects that, that I think, he promised the people that could make, America better.
Yeah, so if you want to look specifically at this, Donald Trump didn't lower the gas prices. Gas prices are higher now than what they were when Trump got in office. Secondly, we can look at the overall economy. The economy is in such a worse state. If you look at the jobs report that just recently came out, it shows our economy is very, very slow in growth and way behind expectations in terms of job reports. We have higher unemployment since Trump got in office. We have increasing inflation since the prior past months, along with the fact that we also can point to lower real GDP growth. If we look at the average rate of real GDP growth under this administration, it's like 1% currently, comparative to the multiple percentage points under the Biden-Harris administration.
So, and Trump did say this at the beginning, and, like I said, I don't know, who knows, but he's only been in office for 7 months. And, I'm not quick to jump the gun. I will, give it time to see, what will happen over the next few years. I could be wrong. I'm not, an extremist, Trump supporter. I'm logical and, but the Democratic side showed me nothing over the last 4 years that, gave me hope. And I think that was with a lot of people. And that's why Trump won over the working class. Now, whether he follows through with it or not, that's a different story. But,
can you name one policy that
now
he's influenced to get passed or that he's advocated for even that will be more beneficial to the middle class than anything that Kamala Harris is advocating for?
So, like, economy-wise or
economy-wise?
I think he is trying to bring more jobs within America, using the tariffs to open up, more like job openings here. It's yet to be seen. Like he said himself, it's going to take a while. I'm not like 100% sure on but I mean, the stock market's been good. Granted, that was good under, the Biden administration too. But everything was going up higher, gas prices, groceries when, Democrats were in office. So, I think people just needed a change.
Okay, so I just want to let you know, if we look at the Biden-Harris administration and then we look at the Trump administration, under the Biden-Harris administration, we saw a growth, like job growth, and we saw like 100,000, 300,000, 200,000 jobs, like practically every month in growth. Under the Trump administration, for the past 3 quarters, we've seen 19,000 in May, 14,000 in June, and 73,000 in July. Is that like a good jobs report? The 73,000 we see in July is half of what we expected to see. We expected to see 150,000.
Again, but it's only been 6 months, right? Within his term. So what if within the next 2 years, those numbers go crazy? He said it would take a while for his, process to take place. So all I'm saying is that, give it time and, this might actually happen. I don't know.
So your response to me is just, what if they do good? Not like all of the economists
nothing
are indicating
happens overnight, right?
Not like
you can't just fix something overnight. This has been a problem the last 4 years.
But no, it hasn't. We had job growth to a way larger extent when Biden was president.
I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, you can go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, what they just recently dropped in terms of the job report. It was so bad for Trump that he literally fired the head of the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He fired them. He literally fired them because he thinks that it was politicized. The numbers were so bad that he fired them because he thought they were politically propagandized against him. I'm serious, dude. He fired them. Do you realize how unhinged that is?
So can I ask you this? Why do you think Trump won over the people and,
because
the Democratic Party?
Yeah, so
because I'm honestly wondering just, because at least from my perspective, when I voted, it was more like these last 4 years were not, great. So I think a lot of people just wanted a change. And not so much that people wanted Trump for president, but they kind of voted against, Biden and then Harris, so like I think that's just like why Trump won in the first place.
So here's the top 3 reasons according to exit polls as to why Donald Trump won the election. 1, people attributed inflation to the incumbent president, i.e. the Biden-Harris administration, without good reason. Number 2 and 3, right? They bought the bigotry towards immigrants and trans people. So Trump sent out a lot of propagandized ads, especially a lot of money, into transphobia and specifically bigotry towards immigrants, and that specifically convinced a lot of Americans to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I work with a lot of undocumented immigrants, and a lot of them wanted Trump to be president too. I've more for religious reasons, I believe. A lot of them are into church, so I think that persuaded them a lot was like the religious part. And then there are some legal immigrants I work with too, and a lot of them, agree with Trump because they did it, the right way, quote unquote, and they were like, I waited 4 years to come to America, and these people are just coming through the border.
Yeah,
and how is that to my family when I waited?
Yeah, so just because it took a long time in the past doesn't mean it should take a long time now. This is like the age-old argument of, oh, back in my day, I had to go across the entire fucking desert with bare feet in order to be able to get to work. So you should have to deal with that too. You know what I mean? Like that's a ridiculous meme. It's literally a meme. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows of that meme because it's ridiculous. No one, the American dream is that we want it better for our children than it was for us. That very basis of that argument contradicts the very idea that just because it is the case that it was bad for me means it should be bad for everyone else. It contradicts that. So just because people had to wait a really long time doesn't mean everyone should have to wait that long. And for undocumented immigrants and for documented immigrants, they should have a pathway to citizenship where it's quick to get into the country, whereas it doesn't take so many years to be able to get in the country and to go through the context of the pathway.
I'm not arguing that, but what I'm arguing is it 100% should be easier, but you can't have, thousands of, people coming over undocumented. So we need the border in that sense, but we also need to make it easier for them to come here.
If you don't want people coming undocumented, then anyone undocumented in the country, give them a pathway to citizenship if they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime.
Agreed. And also
that incentivizes
question,
them to go through the vetting process.
so at that point, how many people can we allow into this country, even documented?
Millions, bro. Like, listen here. Where our country's population by 2050 will start declining. That's a fact. That's because our birth rates have been below replacement rates since the 70s. Meaning that there's not going to be enough young people paying for the systems to ensure that people who are older have the same benefits, right, for longer periods of time as life expectancy grows. So as we have a greater percentage of the population that is older on Social Security, Medicare, and other sorts of social programs, right, it is going to be the case that we need more people who are younger paying for that. That means that immigration is going to be a superpower of the United States, a absolute superpower to ensure that we have population growth and we have growth of our economy in the long run. That's a superpower of our economy, a superpower of our culture, and we should absolutely, right, jump on that. And we should realize that's the way to save us, because realistically, right, there's no other meaningful way in the next 20 years without forcing people against their will that we're going to change the birth rates. That's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. The only way that you can incentivize people to have more children is by creating conditions where they want to have more children. And that right now does not exist, right? It does not exist in this country, right? The conditions do not exist where people are actively going to be wanting to have as many children as they could possibly have, right? Given that they could financially afford it. Because right now, it's not affordable.
It's not and it hasn't been affordable.
You want to know why? Because we don't have universal health care. We don't have universal child care. We don't have paid maternity and paternity leave. We don't have paid family leave. We don't have, right, vacation time, as granted by the European countries, right? There's plenty of countries around the world that have these types of systems that we see, right, are beneficial towards the raising of families. Why shouldn't we support those? Those are democratic policies.
No, I agree. And I'm not on here to like argue. I'm here to like learn also, you know what I mean? Like, because, the reason I voted, is just things went great. And, and I do agree, like I said, with some stuff, don't agree with how he's doing a lot of the stuff. And I just didn't like the way the Democratic Party, went into this election at all. Like, they didn't give us a lot of faith within, because I feel like a lot of people that voted for Trump's were Democrats beforehand. So it's like, I just feel like the next election, Democrat Party needs to do better to, focus on what people need and not like other things.
There wasn't a lot of crossover of Democrats that then went and voted for Donald Trump. Sure, there's some, of course, but there wasn't a lot of crossover within that respect. It was mainly like independents and obviously that are switching and moderates and whatnot, and people that weren't politically activated that were already right wing.
I gotcha.
So like, and also like there were less voters that went to vote for Democrats. They just didn't vote.
Why do you think that is?
One, right, the Democratic position, right, on Palestine, right, given that like there are plenty of pro-Palestinian individuals in the Democratic Party, they were not satisfied with the Democratic position, right, which I understand, and I totally get. One thing I would say is that I do think that Democrats would be better for that, but I think that their position on it right now is unacceptable. It's horrible. But I can still acknowledge that in terms of domestic policy and overall policy, Democrats are significantly better than the Republicans, and Republicans also support that terrible foreign policy, and even to a greater extent. Katie and Zara, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'd love to debate them on that. Do you think that like we're too left wing or something?
I do think the Democratic Party went too left, and I think that's how they lost a lot of voters.
Okay, I think it's ridiculous to say that the Democratic Party went too left.
Extreme left, like extremists, and it's the same thing on the right also. But
get a job, nigga.
Ew. Ew. Go ahead. You were saying?
What was that?
I added someone up who said something dumb in the comment section, and they just slurred. They're gross.
No Trump out a lot of those votes.
You were saying? What were you just saying?
I said I do think the Democrat Party went way too left, and I do think they lost a lot of people's votes because of that. You know, because they were focusing more on issues.
Could you just like be specific, like what they're too far left on?
I'm trying to be like respectful.
Like I'm gonna be totally honest. I think that they weren't far left enough, right? And I think that the reason why they didn't get the left-wing base to go out and vote for them is because they weren't left enough, and they were trying to placate to Republicans and to moderates too much. And the moderates and Republicans give them no ground. The issue is if you're trying to go after moderates and Republicans, you have to give up so much more ground than for going after people who are already on the left who just aren't politically activated. And the realistic matter is, like, let's just be totally honest here, is that, again, these woke opinions that people think are so bad, the often case is that these opinions aren't going to distract or like limit people from voting for economically related benefits, right? If Democrats can convince the American people that they're going to benefit them in terms of the economy, be there for them in terms of healthcare, childcare, housing affordability, all of those sorts of things, then I don't think the average American is going to be like, you know, worried about social and cultural issues, right? In the same way that, you know, Republicans have manufactured historically, right? In order to be able to, you know, pump up bigotry in this country, right? I don't think that they're going to be worried about that, right? And they're going to be worried about the woke opinions of the Democrats, right? If it is a case that we can convince them that we have principled economic, like, positions. And simply, moderates don't have, like, principled positions, right? Historically, right? Or like value-based positions on that. And they'll move all the time based upon whatever's just politically popular. When in reality, like if we cared about what's politically popular to get people to actually go out there, right, it's going to be progressive policy. Progressive policy is incredibly popular. Like people want to get money out of politics. People want to expand healthcare access in this country. They want to expand childcare access. They want people to have access to affordable housing, right? These are all progressive views. These are all progressive viewpoints. They want corporations to stop having so much control over like rental markets. For example, like massive corporations that go in and buy up single family homes, and they go and buy up apartment complexes and raise rent to massive levels. Right? Like that's also a progressive issue.
But you're saying that, but that's been happening for the last 5 years while the Democrats were in office also.
Yeah, but again, moderates, not progressives. So do you understand that like we're the ones specifically on the progressive end of the Democratic Party advocating for those particular economic issues that the average American, if they heard about them, if they could actually be told about them and could actually understand them, would totally be in support of them. And they just haven't been shown those particular views on such a stage in order to be able to support them. Right? And they need to hear that. It needs to be on that stage. It needs to. People need to hear that 45 to 68,000 American lives are lost every single year in this country due to lack of health insurance because people can't get access to preventative health care. People need to hear in this country that there's 137 million Americans that have massive levels of medical debt, that most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, that we have an existential climate crisis that we have to address so that people don't die of pollution, that people don't get harmed in the economy in terms of climate migration in the long run, so that we have particular conditions in the climate to actually grow crops that we've grown historically, right, in certain areas of the world, right, that won't be able to in the future, given to the changing conditions in the climate, that actually understands science, that prioritizes science, that doesn't say the climate's going to start cooling and that science just doesn't know it yet. You know what I mean? Like
so everything you're saying right now, right? How come Harris didn't come out and say that when she was giving her speeches? She didn't come out and say any of this.
She did say a good amount of these things, but the thing is, she needs to re-say them all the time. And whenever she did say them over and over again, people were like, oh, she was saying it off a script. So like, honestly, I don't know what she could have done. I realistically don't know. I don't know what she could have said that could have got people to realize it because she did say it. Maybe she could have put more emphasis on it, even though people were making up this fucking dumb talking point that she was just reading off a script because she was saying the same things. You know, she did say these things. People just didn't go pay attention and listen. And maybe it was the case that 107 days is not enough time to be able to get her name out there, to be able to like get people to support her, and that maybe she just needed extra time, and maybe by 2028 that would be enough time, right? For Democrats to get their name out there enough to be able to like people know that these policies are the case. But I realistically think that people just didn't care to do the research. Right. And it was sad. And people now are realizing they should have done the research. There are so many, countless people that have come up on my live stream that have realized they should have done the research. And now that our country is going to be in such a worse place, given that they voted for someone like Donald Trump, because realistically, this affects us for years upon years upon years and for the decades that come on in the future, because people appoint, right, like Donald Trump appoints judges that stay in the office for decades. You know, like that type of influence stays around. And when people don't inform themselves on politics, it creates a worse country. It puts our country at risk, our democracy at risk. And that's why people are saying, you got to save our democracy, because Donald Trump is actively advocating to undermine it. He called for the termination of the Constitution, undermine the 60 plus courts that said that he didn't win the 2020 election, right? Many of which had Trump appointed judges, Republican appointed judges as well. Do you want people to have basic necessities? Do you want people to have like things they need? Do you want a better education system?
Yeah, and we've been wanting that for the last 4 years while the Democrats were in office, and we still didn't get that. And I know you're going to say, oh, that wasn't progressive, but like that's the reason why we voted for Trump, because we wanted something new and different and have hope. The last 4 years were miserable.
But like but we got a lot of those things, like infrastructure, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, the American Rescue Plan. We got a lot of the policies. We didn't get everything, but we got a lot of the policies. So can you name a Biden policy that you disagree with?
I don't know the policies like that off the top of my head.
Could you name a Trump policy that you do agree with?
I mean, I don't know about like policy wise, but I mean, I agree with like some of the things he's doing. Like, I don't know, like policies, like off the top of my head, exact policies, but.
Okay. So given that you don't know any policies off the top of your head, you don't know any of the things that you support, how could you say that Donald Trump is a better candidate?
Yeah, you got me stumped. I'm not great with the whole I don't know. Yeah, I'll hop off because I'm bad at debating.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like genuinely, like I'm here not to just dunk on you right now. I'm here specifically to give you like a position to change your mind, because I do think that you're open-minded enough to change your mind. I genuinely
100%, and I definitely am open-minded enough to change my mind. You know, but. You know, what got me, I'll tell you, like, the things that got me with Trump was more, you know, one, I did agree with the, you know, the border and undocumented immigrants. You know, to a point, you know, I like I said, I disagree with how he's doing stuff, but I don't think you can let everyone in. I know we already talked about that, but.
Yeah, I'm not advocating to let everyone in. Like, anyone who's committed a violent crime or bad crime, I don't want to be let into the country.
I did like
the same way that I don't like how Donald Trump released violent rioters on January 6th who beat cops, were convicted of it and admitted to it into the country, but pardoning them.
All right, and there's claims against the Democratic Party doing the same thing in California.
No, I mean the Democrats didn't pardon violent rioters.
What about all the riots in California?
Did they pardon any of the people who did that?
And to be peaceful. Those were not peaceful riots in California. It was the same thing, and that's
they
why
were peaceful protests. By the way, I live in California. They were absolutely peaceful protests. There were some areas in which people like did violence.
There was burning cars. There was
most protests were peaceful.
What about all the looting, burning cars, throwing rocks at police cars?
Listen. You're talking in very like secluded areas. Some areas, right? There were people specifically that were engaging in violence. That was not the majority of protests that were in LA. You know how big LA is? You know how many cities are in LA? LA is a county.
No, and someone just said in the comments too, like the news, And that's a problem on both sides. The news puts out, you know, the worst of the worst on both sides.
Well, I just want to you know, LA is a county, right? And there are many cities in LA. I was specifically at the downtown LA No Kings protest, and I didn't see any violence, not at all. But right when I left, there were police officers shooting tear gas after. I didn't even know it happened because when I was there, it was totally 100% peaceful. No one there was doing anything at all that was violent. Not a single person. And I was there for hours. And the moment I left, that happened. And I know damn well there was not violence there.
So what was like the violence per se? Like, that wasn't like Democratic people?
Sure, there could be, but like there are a lot of people who specifically go to areas in which they can try to get away with it. So they'll oftentimes try to use violence that's happening, right, or things that are happening in order to be able to like loot. And in those circumstances, they're not people who are a part of the movement. They're people taking advantage of the movement. And by the way, this exists across the political spectrum. There are people who specifically use political situations that are happening, right, in order to be able to like steal things. Like that happens on both sides of the political aisle, right? Because there are people, regardless of political affiliation, that are going to these areas to be able to loot, right, and to make money, and they don't give a shit about the politics.
I mean, that's true 100%.
And also police in sight. Like, for example, right, where I was at DTLA, that was the police that was literally shooting tear gas and stomping in with fucking horses. Holy shit, you know what? When I left, there was a hell of a lot of cop cars lined down the entire street. And I was like, why are there so many cop cars? I have a video of all the cop cars that were lined up before. I assumed that it was just like cop cars that were there that were like in case something happens. But that I think it was literally they were set up to go in. Like I have a video on my phone specifically of them already set up when there was no violence there when I was there.
I don't know. I'm going to hop off though.
Okay.
But good talking to you, man.
For
you know,
sure.
I always try to be respectful and stuff. So
For sure. All right. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the TikTok screen. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube for the 3.2 thousand people, make sure to like that stream. It will help get out to more people. Let me read off and make sure I'm caught. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Make sure I'm caught up on all of the donations, everyone, and then I will make sure to continue on to the debates. And thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously. Sage, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. No, I'm not. That's not like alcohol. I don't really like do alcohol very much. Lila, thank you so much for the $2. Jill with the $14. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Libby, thank you so much for the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. They said thanks for being an advocate for Medicare for all because without it. Oh, why did it not let me see the entire message? Hold up. I'm clicking on it now. Thanks for being an advocate for Medicare for all because without it, Medicare specifically, I wouldn't be able to celebrate 6 months post-op seizure-free after dealing with seizures for 16 years. Libby, I'm so happy to hear. That you're celebrating that. That is amazing. Can we get some W Libbies in the comment section right now? That's fucking amazing to hear. And that's actually why every single fucking person in this country should not go without access to health insurance and healthcare. It's fucking insane. Nightblade, thank you so much. I appreciate the $4.21. Thank you. I will make sure to check. Ryan, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Brian, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you. And Father, thank you so much. I really appreciate the spectacular show. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the live stream, on here on the visual on TikTok. We are just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. It helps push it out to more people. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Begrudgingly, yes.
Like if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Oh, no, I'd probably vote for Trump again.
Oh, okay. So why is that?
Yeah. Again, I said begrudgingly. And look, I know that like I really don't want to be like divisive. Like I really don't believe in like this false dichotomy. Either way, honestly, for me, a lot of it just comes down to like the current social state of the Democratic Party. I think it's a lot of identity politics. I think it's a lot of basically talking down to a majority of the people in this country. And honestly, that just kind of like that's kind of why I voted the way I did and why I probably would vote the way I did again. I don't know if you have any response to that or any specific like inquiries to why I think that way.
Yeah. Like, could you give me like a specific example?
Yeah. I think actually currently a really good current example, and you may have like specific feelings about this, but I think what's a good reflection
Like,
of the current
let me
state.
clarify my question. Like, can you give me a specific example of Democrats talking down to like a majority of the population?
Yeah, no. For example, yeah, I think this is great because actually for a lot of politicians, I know JD Vance actually just talked about this, for example, but I think the current like the Sydney Sweeney like American Eagle ad, where a lot of people, and I know like you might have specific feelings about this, but and again, I'm not like maybe they did mean one thing, maybe they did mean another, but either way, I think a majority of the response from the liberal or Democratic side has been, wow, like you think this, you're supporting this, you're supporting that. But it's like, if you ask questions, it's like, oh, hey, like, okay, like maybe actually, like, let me hear more about this.
No,
like, okay, you think that this is.
Think about my idea here. When it comes to the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad, there are so many people that are overlooking the development of these ads that they are very well knowing what they're specifically doing when they're trying to say, oh, genes are passed down from parents to offspring, right? And that gives me my hair and my eye color when she has blue eyes, right, and blonde hair. And saying that like her genes are good. Do you realize everyone knows how that's coded and the language it's coded within? And we understand that. And we're like, dude, that's weird. And that's all Democrats are saying. That's not speaking down to everyone. That's not talking down to everyone. That's just saying, dude, this is weird. We know that they're coding the language. We know that they are purposefully doing it. Think of the galaxy. We know it's not like an accident. Right?
Oh no, it's definitely like let me say this. Like it's definitely weird. I think it was marketed in horrible taste. But do I think that was the intention?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they have the entire team. It's undisputed. It's their intention.
I mean,
with what they said explicitly, it's not even just. They said genes are passed down from parents to offspring, and they're highlighting the blue color of her eyes, and the eyes, and the hair color. That's what she said. She said specifically eyes and hair color. They know what they're doing. Let's not infantilize their team. They know what they're doing. They're doing this to make money off of us talking about it. You brought this up. That's the only reason I'm responding to this, because they're bringing this up to make money off of it. They're willing to specifically engage in dog whistling like this because they know it makes them money. That's what they're doing.
Well, okay, and look, and I'm like completely on board with the idea that like it was in terrible taste. You know, maybe. I just can't get behind the idea that it was intentional. Like maybe, of course, like
they're dog whistling to create controversy to make money off of that controversy. Like, and you know what? Seriously, let's think about this for 1 second. Seriously, that's exactly what they're doing. They're a business. They're profit maximizing. They're trying to create controversy to bring attention to their brand to make money off of that.
And look, I'm like completely open to the idea that like I could be completely wrong about that. But also, again, I think JD Vance's like response to it, like again, I'm definitely not like behind everything JD Vance says or does, but I think his take on it was, you know, honestly a pretty good take of like, if the idea, like, again, there is another side to it of what I think they maybe intended. And again, I could be completely wrong. But again, they're trying, like the point of it is to sell clothing. You know, they're obviously marketing to, you know, younger people or whatever. Sydney Sweeney's big actor right now. Obviously she's very big pop culture.
Do you think it's okay to promote bad things, right, in order to make money off that?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to talk about that specifically, then I mean, that's just, I mean, that could be literally, you could apply that to literally anything. You know, like this is like obviously this specific instance. Again, I'm completely open to the idea, and also like believe that it was done in horrible taste. Like, but the idea that it was intentional and that this is some sort of like neo-Nazi fascist, like whatever. Like
these are dog whistles. These are absolutely dog whistles.
I mean, I think
I'm not saying anything like, but these are dog whistles, at least like under that context of an alt-right perspective. Totally dog whistles.
Well, again, so like the entire reason I even brought that up is
why are they doing the dog whistles? To be able to generate controversy, to make money off of it. They are willing to engage in dog whistles, which are harmful, in order to be able to make money off of that. And you don't see how that's like that's like
and again,
that's like morally bankrupt.
No, I like, again, if that was the intention, then I'm completely against it. But again, the point of why I even brought that up was the like overarching, like absolute like tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist like response that there has been from a lot, not all, again, let me say not all, and I don't think it's a majority, but I think even like the strong response, like, you know, the loud few that have responded to this is pretty indicative of like how, like, just the way the left is. Because honestly, the way I interpreted it, again, do I think it was in bad taste? Yes. Do I think the intention was, hey, Sydney Sweeney is obviously a big person in pop culture right now, and obviously when, you know, her good genes, again, I don't I'm not even honestly for promoting, you know, sex sells, as they say, but like obviously she's very big, you know, whatever you could say, sex icon at this time, trying to sell clothing to people.
Don't be an NPC and buy the argument that just because it is the case that she's quote unquote beautiful under the societal lens, that means that they're referencing good genes just because she's quote unquote beautiful. Like I don't understand how that, like, people are adopting that argument. I don't think that's a good argument at all. That clearly wasn't their intention behind this. Their intention behind this was to generate controversy to make money off of it. Anyone with like half a brain cell that's functioning properly, given that they understand this argument that I'm saying to them, should be able to understand that that's what's going on here. That's exactly what they're doing. And also that's why I don't bring this up on live stream any more than what I am right now, because I'm not going to bring attention to something that they're clearly trying to create controversy off of to be able to make money off of it. That gives them more attention, gives them everything they want.
But I've already, like, again, and I've already like admitted, like, hey, I could be completely wrong about that. But again, the bigger point of why I even brought that up is, again, like the social kind of status of the left being just like the response that, you know, either on TikTok or YouTube, I think was, again, like the tinfoil hat kind of controversy, like that, like that was.
You think we're the tinfoil hat? You guys literally are a part of the side that 70% of the Republican Party thinks the 2020 election was rigged with no evidence. What?
I mean,
how are we the conspiracy side?
Well, no, okay. Oh, hold on. I would ask, like, I don't personally, I don't subscribe to that.
I mean, I know, if you wanted 70% of your party does or did. I don't even know if they. I don't know if they do now, but did.
But again, I like I said at the start, I don't want to like fall into this false dichotomy that just because I voted for Donald Trump, that I also subscribe to other like beliefs of the Republican Party. Like I like, again, just because you support or like you liberal ideology.
So then why are you assuming that to be true specifically here with Democrats? Because you clearly said because Democrats have this perspective, right, on like the American Eagle ad, that somehow means that they're talking down to a majority of people and playing identity politics. This was specifically brought up by you. It sounds like you're the one that's playing identity politics here.
Well, you know, again, the bigger like the question of like, again, then the reason for the debate, why do you support Donald Trump? Again, that was just one example. We can talk about other examples of like, again, like what I think the current state of the Democratic Party is, or either other issues that I have with the Democratic Party specifically. I mean, obviously there's problems with both parties. I mean, I'm no Donald Trump bootlicker. There are plenty of people out there who do that, and I completely disagree with that. I think obviously in his personal life,
and this might be able to get me to understand and see how you are. Can you name one specific thing Donald Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
In terms, like, again, the reason I mean, it's like, as like, are you talking about as like something like a moral thing, or like a presidential act,
something he could do, something he could support that would get you to stop supporting the guy?
Well, okay, so I mean, in terms of like policy, something that I would like be extremely against. That would and again, I think this is obviously very mixed, but I think I think heavier U.S. involvement in the Middle East and in Israel, I think that would be like essentially an invasion. That would basically turn me off. I'm like, okay, like I really couldn't support him at that point. Again, I'm no Donald Trump bootlicker. I think Donald Trump is a horrible person.
At what point you wouldn't?
Well, again, if there was even heavier involvement, basically like a U.S. invasion to completely just like stomp what was happening in the Middle East right now, like or in Israel and Gaza. And again, I don't want you to think
if U.S. invades somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah.
What about what about if they bomb somewhere in the Middle East?
Again, I wasn't for that at all.
So
I was,
but you'd still support him in that context.
Well, I think like the way you're framing it and phrasing it is either complete and total support or complete and total rebellion. I don't necessarily agree that that's how it is or how it can be. I mean, I don't even think for you. I don't think that you. Let's say Kamala Harris. Like, if there was something Kamala Harris did, like even let's say she won the presidency, there's something you did that she did that you didn't like. It's not like you're going to just completely rebel from her. It's like, okay, hey, I don't like that she did this, but I still, support her presidency or, other things, that are happening.
And again, and again, I think we could point to certain things that Donald Trump has done that would be so bad insofar as you wouldn't want to support him anymore. Like he was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman. He incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol, called for the termination of the Constitution, got 70% of the Democratic Party to believe that the election was stolen with no evidence, right? I mean, like I can point to plenty of things.
Yeah, and again, I'm no like Donald Trump bootlicker, and honestly, I wish I almost would have rather had anybody else besides Donald Trump. And again, I think
you wouldn't want anyone else but Trump.
No, I said I would rather have anyone else in the Republican seat besides him.
Okay. What if it was Kamala Harris?
Well, again, so I think, again, just continue the conversation about, like, I think the failed kind of status of the Democratic Party is you just look at the election. Like, I was shocked that Trump won. Like, I voted for Trump, and I was shocked that he won. And I think just, the campaign that Kamala Harris sat on, basically, hey, everything's doing good. We're going to keep doing that. Obviously, that didn't work.
You know what? If I was a Trump supporter, right now I would be running with the fact that there was an ex-CIA individual that came out that said that there was an NSA audit of the 2024 election saying that it was rigged. I would run with that, and because there's more evidence substantiating that than there was the 2020 election being rigged. But we rely on basis of evidence and fact, right? So
and there's other issues that I have with the Democratic Party in terms of democracy. I mean, like, it just even in terms of like the Democratic nominee for like president, I think there's if you even just look at like the last 3 or 4 elections in terms of like the Democratic nominee being selected, the American people didn't really have a say in terms of like who was, especially in this last election, like the Democratic Party got no say in terms of who was going to be the Democratic nominee. I think the Democratic Party
80% of the Democratic Party was satisfied with Kamala Harris being the nominee. I think we definitely preferred Kamala Harris over Joe Biden.
I mean, I think most people would.
And again, if most people right in the Democratic Party voted for Joe Biden and they support Kamala Harris over Joe Biden, then what's the issue there?
Well, again, I think it just comes down to like even you look at back in the 2020 election, just like how like nominees were selected. I think just even in terms of how the Democratic Party is being ran, in terms of how they're responding to constituents, how they're responding to like essentially just even like things like with the Sydney Sweeney ad. Again, there's plenty of issues I have with the Republican Party. There's plenty of issues I have with Trump. There's plenty of issues that I have with plenty of politicians on the red side. But again, like I think the social status and especially the political status of the Democratic Party has not only failed its constituents, but they failed themselves.
And again, although I can agree with the fact that they have failed within many ways, I can acknowledge that Trump supporters and Republicans have failed to an even greater extent.
Okay, like how? Like in your opinion, like how?
Yeah, so like for example, I can point to the fact that again, Democrats have been advocating for the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, while Donald Trump under his administration literally just took money from people who are poor and gave it to people who are rich. Right? Like we can point to how like again, the working class is specifically focused on when we reference Democrats being in office and what they're trying to compromise on and work on. Whereas when Trump is in office, he's clearly trying to put the interests of the rich and wealthy, right, at like the pinnacle of everything, and he's that's partisan. No Democrats voted for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's policy that is being implemented currently that like I don't agree with, like especially like very like popularly, you know, the public broadcasting service, like funding being stripped for them. I'm certainly like completely against that. Like I think that's a failure on the part of like this current administration.
And again, like for example, if Donald Trump like was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, would you stop supporting him?
I mean, yeah. So in the terms of that, like, again, like I feel like the only reason, like, because I think it's hard on both sides again, because I feel like both sides are almost being held hostage like the Republican and Democrat side in terms of who their nominee is going to be, because it's almost like I have to. It's like pick your poison.
I'm referencing
like
given the last administration, would you vote for Donald Trump held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman or Kamala Harris? And again, just remember, I'm referencing like if you could go back in time.
Or are you talking about the cases in New York where he was acquitted? Like I'm just specifically.
No,
like,
he wasn't acquitted. And again, he was held civilly liable of sexual abuse unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people for forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will.
I mean, yeah, like, look, it's just like, it's like super tough. And that's just a pill that like any Trump supporter is just going to have to swallow. Like, I mean, I'll just like openly, like, yes, I think Donald Trump's a terrible person. I think he's a terrible person.
So like you would vote for him if you were held civilly liable of sexual abuse.
Well, I would like to, like, what specific like case are you referring to? Like in what state, you know, like what specific instance?
Does that matter?
Well, I mean, was he held civilly liable?
I'm just giving like a hypothetical. And again, like
a hypothetical.
Yeah, like a hypothetical.
Like,
and again,
if he was like actually like criminally confirmed guilty.
And again, I'm referencing civil liability.
Civil liability. Well, like again, like is this just a hypothetical, or like are you trying to reference like a specific case where he was held civilly liable?
It's a hypothetical.
I mean, in the specific hypothetical that you're mentioning, that would like I would definitely like my personal support would not be there. That doesn't mean that my support's going to shift to Kamala Harris, but
like
my personal
you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump, correct?
In that specific hypothetical, if I could go back in time, again, I think talking in hypotheticals is almost kind of not really
in that specific hypothetical.
My support would probably not be there for him.
Okay, so well, that hypothetical is reality. We live in that fucking timeline, and Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexual abuse unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people for forcibly penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. So you clearly don't support Donald Trump, do you?
But now you're dealing in bad faith, because I literally was like, hey, what court case are you specifically referencing?
I was saying it was hypothetical because I was just trying to demonstrate to the class, which I did very so greatly, and I tricked you, obviously very clearly.
Again, but like you're debating in bad faith.
No, it's not bad faith. That's not bad faith. It's actually tricking you because I know that you have confirmation bias, and I know that if you think it's hypothetical, that you're willing to like concede more ground than if you know if it's reality, right?
No,
so if I pose reality as if it's just hypothetical, right? In that set of circumstances, then you're like, you understand how bad it is. For some reason, I don't know why this happens with Trump supporters, but I do it all the time, and it works. It works all the time. And then they change their views right after. It's like clockwork. It's like right after. They just immediately start defending the position right after they said they wouldn't support it if it were in a hypothetical scenario. It's hilarious.
But again, I think you debated in bad faith, and I also said
that's bad faith. It's bad faith for me to trick him and show that he had confirmation bias. Yeah, that's so bad.
Well, no, but I literally said before that, like I literally said, like, hey, like I think Donald Trump being a terrible person is just a pill that any Trump supporter, anybody who votes for Trump, has to swallow.
Yeah, but again, you said that you wouldn't support him if he were held civilly liable of sexual abuse. He is held civilly liable of sexual abuse. He has been. So you should not support him. I'm literally, all I was doing was posing reality as if it were hypothetical. It's actually reality. Yeah. It's a bait and switch. You got bait and switched.
But again,
reality was just hypothetical.
But again, I think I brought this up earlier, is you're posing it as like full support or complete rebellion against this single person, when it's way more nuanced than that in terms of like one policy or what one party is going to try to push in terms of, social or fiscal or, foreign policy, like whatever it may be. It's way more nuanced than that. And I think that, like, I would, like, very begrudgingly, I literally said that from the start. That, like,
no, but tell me why, when it's not hypothetical, when we're referencing reality, why does your answer change? Tell me, like, actually, I'd love to ask this question. Why does your answer change given that I posed it in a hypothetical scenario versus it's actually reality? Why does it change?
I think I think it's not just also a question for me, but it's also a question for, like most of the United States. Obviously.
Why do you think I'm going on this live right now? Why do you think I go on? Exactly. Why do you think I went on every single one of the shows I went on to, and I said everything that I said because I wanted America to hear this so badly. I wanted America to hear this point, because this point should get every single person in America to stop supporting the guy. That's why I say this point so much, is because it is literally, you have to concede to this, otherwise you look insane.
No, but like that's the thing, is I haven't, like, in what way have I disagreed with you? Like, yes, I think Donald Trump is a terrible person. But again, your vote is more nuanced than like just your support for that person. Can we agree on that at the very least?
What? No, repeat that.
Can you, like, your vote for a presidential nominee, your vote for that person is way more nuanced than your support for that singular person?
No, I'm confused. No.
Well, basically, like the point of what I'm saying, and I think like a lot of people do feel like this, is
you are voting for the person for president, right? Like,
yeah. But I'm saying, like, it's like your support is way more nuanced than, like, again, I think you're posing it as like complete.
Are you saying it's more nuanced than just the character of an individual? You also all have to care about the policy. Yes, you care about both, but there are certain things about a character in which you would say are so bad that you wouldn't support them regardless of the policy.
Again, well, so in terms of like character, and like just a hypothetical, would you have voted, like, what did you think about like the moral implication for like Joe Biden literally lying to the American people that he wasn't going to pardon Hunter Biden, and then he ended up doing it at the end of his presidency? Like, what's the moral implication for you in terms of Biden literally just lying to all of his constituents and all of all of the Democratic Party? Again,
wrong.
I'm not saying
that was wrong.
And again, I'm not posing it like it's as bad as anything Donald Trump has done, because Donald Trump's done some pretty bad stuff, like, admittedly.
Yeah, in isolation, that's wrong. Yeah, no one's arguing that that's okay, but to even act like that would be at all comparable, which I know you weren't trying to do there, to anything that Donald Trump has done is ridiculous. Because he hasn't committed a violent crime or bad crime. Honestly, I don't blame him as a person for doing that to his kid, like to pardoning his kid.
Yeah, no. And again, we can always talk about it like personal or whatever, but again, like, just back to the point of, again, just getting back to the original question of like, why do you support Trump? I think, and maybe
I have a question. If your kid was under the same charges that Hunter was, would you have pardoned him?
Well, again, like, personally in that situation, like, I don't know. The reason why I think it gets more nuanced is, like, again, he promised the American people, hey, I'm not going to do this.
I understand. But, like, would you in that circumstance, yes or no?
I think for me, it would depend on, like, personally, it would depend on, first of all, it would depend on, like, did I make a promise as the president of the United States that I wasn't going to do something?
Dude,
but again, I think
I'm sorry. I care more about my kid. Like, what?
Again, I think that's going to be different person to person. Again, but also I don't think dealing in hypotheticals like this is really, like, going to get us anywhere.
Yeah, it's conceptually relevant to how we view things within reality. If you can't think hypothetically, right, then you can't critically think, dude. Like, seriously, like, you're like actually like holding yourself back as a human being.
I'm not saying all hypothetical
scenarios are relevant, But relevant hypotheticals to demonstrate concepts, you've got to be able to fucking engage with them. If you can't, you're just gonna make yourself a dumber person. I'm serious.
No, but I agree with you. But I'm saying the hypotheticals that you're like posing currently aren't are conceptually, are they like somewhat related, adjacent? Like, yes, but again, back to the original point of why do you support Trump? Again, I think it's literally picking literally picking your poison. I don't think either side is really good. And again, I think so many failures on the side of the Republican Party, so many failures. Also my vote also comes down to first yes, country things in mind, but also just first person.
Hey, dude, I just want to let you know. Have you noticed that you say again a lot?
I mean, I have certain vocal. That's just I stutter, so that's just a thing with me.
No, don't worry about that. Especially if it's relating to stuttering. People were just picking up on that, specifically a word that you use all the time. I use words all the time, for example, diabolical, W word, by the way. But yeah, no. I appreciate you. I was just trying to ask why.
Oh yeah, no, that's just again, it's just a stutter. It's just a stutter.
Don't worry about that at all.
Yeah, no. But just continuing, I think again, it just comes down to the social status and of the Democratic Party. I think the reason why so many people have turned, especially me myself, I'm Latino. Why do you think there was such a large increase in the male and female Latino vote for Donald Trump in this past election?
Why was there, say that one more time?
Why do you think there was such a large increase in the Latino vote for Donald Trump in this past election?
I would assume that it's online specifically with the typical, the three in the exit polling.
Well, I mean,
I've already mentioned is applicable to the rest of the United States. I don't know any specifics that would be applicable to Latino Americans that aren't applicable to any other American.
Well, I'm just asking, if Donald Trump, for example, if Donald Trump is so racist and all these things are so are true, what would push? And again, it was such a large increase from the Latino vote in America, for him, the support.
What point are you trying to get from this? Are you trying to say that because people who are Latino voted for him, that means he's not racist?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Again, I'm trying to ask
so what's the argument here?
Well, the argument that I'm trying to make is I'm saying what is pointing people to the Republican Party? I think they're being pushed away from the Democratic Party, and so they're really the only other choice they have is the Republican Party, or in this case, this last election was Donald Trump. I think support for Trump, a lot of support for Trump does some of it come out of blind adoration for just him or blind devotion of the Republican Party? Absolutely. I think there are a lot of people that are like that. But then honestly, personally, me, the reason why I quote unquote support Donald Trump, or the reason why he got my vote, is I think I was so pushed away from the Democratic Party. That's kind of my take on it.
That was your take on the Democratic Party, why people left. Okay. I'm confused why that's supposed to mean why you support Donald Trump.
Okay. I mean, unfortunately, in this country, I mean, I can't even remember. We've had the last time an independent even, you either have Republican or Democrat. Those are basically the only two options you have.
Okay. So you were,
I'm sorry.
What pushed you away from the Democratic Party then?
I think it's just a lot of the, a lot of the identity politics, a lot of the essentially just I think a lot of it's pandering to people who are in again, I'm not saying people. I think it's a lot of pandering to people who are in minority or oppressed groups. I think that that's a large pushback.
What do you mean by pandering?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with for example, I mean, you could use this for anything. And again, I'm not pushing my personal, I'm just talking kind of in general. For example, either people who are for people who are Christian or people who are white or people who are, either live in the South, because I also live in the South.
Can you just tell me what pandering is?
Well, I think like having such a huge put again, like I think tyranny of the majority, and basically pushing ideologies on people who like don't want them.
Okay, so like for example, Donald Trump trying to restrict women's access to abortion.
I wouldn't use that specifically for the point I'm trying to pose. Like I think that's kind of like that's taking it a different direction, I would say.
Isn't that restricting people from what they want to do?
Well, again, I think that kind of opens like a different argument in terms of like what should be restricted versus what shouldn't. I think that's a completely different. That's kind of like a completely different argument.
Yeah, but like what's relevantly different?
Well, because the point I'm trying to make is more of like a social thing of like, hey, again, like this, like the false dichotomy of if you don't believe this, then you believe this, or like, oh, hey, if you don't support this group of people, then you're just a bigot, fascist, racist who is just terrible. You're uneducated, you're stupid, and nobody like you should get doxxed. You should lose absolutely everything.
No.
And again,
who said you should get doxxed and lose everything?
No, I'm just talking about like socially, like kind of the implications.
So I just want to know. So you're judging the entirety of the Democratic Party based upon a few comments you've seen on social media?
No. That's like absolutely like not what I'm saying.
Okay, so then what the hell are you referencing?
Well, I think a lot of it just even has to do with. I think a really good example. You could, we'll talk about like policy specifically, and I know you may have certain views on this. Again, I'm not talking about my specific views, but for example, you could talk about all this stuff with Title IX, NCAA. Again, I don't specifically.
Can you tell me one Republican policy that's not rooted in identity politics?
In terms of like in specific reference to like certain identities or like what?
Just give me one Republican policy that's not rooted in identity politics. Just off the top of your head.
Well, like in policy in terms of like only applying to the U.S. or foreign relations or
anything.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not a Donald Trump bootlicker, but I do think the recent like EU tariffs that they had just agreed to, like a 15% tariff on them, I don't believe that's rooted in identity politics at all. I think that was a huge economic victory for the United States.
So, a trade policy? Like a trade.
Well, yeah, you asked for any Republican policy that wasn't.
Sure.
You asked for any Republican.
Sure.
Yeah.
You could say that the trade deal led to the policy of 15% tariffs. Now, can you tell me what a tariff is, maybe?
I mean, yes, a tariff is. Tariff like to the American people, or a tariff on like other countries. I mean, it's just essentially a tax on imported.
Tax on imported goods.
On imported or exported goods.
Imported goods. Would you specifically? Would you say that who pays that?
Well, I mean, it depends who the tariff is being placed on. I mean, in this specific case, a lot of the tariff implications were placed on the American people.
Oh, okay, because it's the American business that gets taxed by the U.S. government, and then they pass that down to the American consumer because it's an aspect of the cost of production.
Well, okay, so what point are you trying to make? Because I mean, we were originally talking about a policy that didn't have to do with identity politics, and now you're trying to make a point about tariffs. So I mean, where are we?
Yeah, I was just seeing if you understood what the tariff is, how it was paid, right? Given that you were saying that was the policy. But sure, yeah, well, you were able to answer the policy.
Yeah,
that was not based in. Can you tell me what specific policies of Kamala Harris's that are only rooted in identity politics?
I mean, I think a huge part of that was again a lot of like Kamala Harris's large support for DEI. I think like just one specific policy in terms of, I mean, you could say things that she was upholding. I know Donald Trump recently repealed, DEI hiring within the federal government, and a lot of people lost their jobs. It's hard to say a specific policy. I mean, you could have said her stance on, for example, the stuff with Title IX and NCAA, or like whatever it may have been.
What about it?
Well, I mean, you asked for a policy
What's her
that
stance? What's her stance? What's her stance?
I mean, her stance was for allowing transgender athletes in sports in high school, college, or like whatever it may be.
Can you tell me one time she said that? And by the way, I think trans people should be allowed to play. Can you tell me one time she said that?
I mean, I don't have like a computer on hand to like give you cite a specific time, date, and speed.
You can go look it up on your phone right now. I'll give you time. We'll wait here.
I mean, again, I don't think that's like necessarily. I'm like kind of confused as to like what point you're trying to make by this.
I want you to go look it up. Hint never happened. Okay,
well, like if they like, let's. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, like, I'm not gonna like go grab my computer to like.
No, just look it up on your phone. Scroll out.
Well, I mean, like, look, if like
can you scroll out and go look it up?
I mean, I could, but like, I don't think that's like productive to the argument.
It would be very productive because otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and gonna say this over and over again. So you better do it now.
I mean, we can like, okay, let's just hypothetical. I mean, we can just deal in hypothetical. Let's just say I'm wrong. Like, what would you
just go look it up? Just go look it up.
Like, what would your response be if I was wrong?
Just go look it up. I would laugh. Just go look it up.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Okay, unmute when you're ready, buddy. Alrighty. Kara, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kara. Can we do W's for Kara in the comment section? Nicole, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Andon, thank you for the $5. Peppy, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's in the comment section for everyone? Let me make sure I'm caught up completely real quick. And then we'll get another person up here to help them out real quick. Just Me, thank you so much for the $5. Libby with the $2. Thank you. I'll think about it. Grim, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Beers, thank you for the $5. Villa with the $5. Thank you. Kara, thank you so much for the $10 and the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Deadpool, thank you so much for the $5. Just Me with the $2. Peppy, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you. Andon with the $5. Thank you. I think I'm caught up. I'm caught up there. Lawrence, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Dieter, thank you so much. I appreciate the $50 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Dieter. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or Dieter, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. NL, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $15. Thank you so much. Tyrone, thank you so much for the $10. Mary Ellen, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you. And Sandra, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Sandra. I really appreciate it. Give me some W's for Sandra in the comment section. Let me go on and get another person to help this guy out real quick. We've been on for, let's see how long, about 3 hours and 16 minutes. That means we got another 2 hours and 40 minutes left on the stream, everyone. 2 hours and 40 minutes left on the stream. Just letting everyone know. Thank you so much for the hand heart. Thank you, Em. Alrighty, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Alrighty, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the TikTok stream, everyone. Let me turn this on. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the TikTok stream. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty, let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Thank you so much for all the gifts, everyone. Thank you. Cobra, thank you so much. I appreciate the membership subscription. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump and meet the criteria on the screen. Dark, again, thank you so much for pushing the member subscription. Kurt, thank you so much for pushing the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the motorcycle, by the way. Thank you so much. I made it a little bit smaller so people can see it, so it's not cut off at all. Thank you for letting me know in the comments section. Get the next person up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Trump is trying to ban anime, guy.
Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump and meet that set of criteria on the screen. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen here on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. Haley, thank you so much for the $2. Oh, thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker.
Every day. By the way, if you want to support me, everyone, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio as well as the description of the YouTube.
Sorry.
What's up?
You still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I also had to go to the bathroom real quick. I mean,
Did you find it?
Something. Yeah, I mean, saying so. This was technically under. I mean, it was kind of Biden administration, but Harris is vice president. There's a Title IX. There's Title IX regulation changes proposed in April 2023, April 2024. Final Title IX rule was published, extending protections.
No, where did Kamala Harris say anything?
I mean, you were asking for policy. You didn't ask for a quote.
No, I asked you for when did Kamala Harris say this?
Well, I mean, what I'm giving you right now isn't a specific quote. I mean, I found actual policy that was proposed and passed.
Can you just tell me one time Kamala Harris said that?
I mean, off the top of my head, or I could Google Kamala Harris transgender athlete quote.
Go ahead, Google it. Well, wait. Dieter, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everyone, let's get another person up here. While he looks that up, give him a second to look that up, everybody, to do his research. You know, how old are you?
25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Like, if you could go
not
back
completely.
in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why is that?
I like, for the most part, I like his policies better, and I think that the Democrats, I think, are a little bit. I think the last guy was saying, they talk down on people and they kind of push people away. And I just think that I think that the Republicans kind of are becoming the party of just a better party altogether.
Yeah,
lately.
so you think that Donald Trump doesn't speak down to people, but
Oh, no,
you think Democrats
he does. I definitely think Trump. Trump
so
definitely.
then why
speaks
isn't
down
it
to-
turning people away from Donald Trump?
There's a lot of things that I don't disagree with Trump, but
So why isn't it turning people away from Donald Trump? Since this is your explanation for why it's turning people away from the Democratic Party, why are you saying that this is turning people away from? Why aren't you saying it's turning people away from Donald Trump?
I think a lot of people are turned away from Donald Trump. Why don't you support?
So, but if he does this to a greater extent, well, then based on your view, he would have less support. But he won, right?
Yeah, he did win. So why do you think Trump won? And why do you think the Democrats lost?
Yeah, top 3 reasons in exit polling is 1, people attributed inflation to the incumbent president without good reason. And 2 and 3 would be that they bought the bigotry against immigrants and trans people that Donald Trump was perpetuating. Julie, thank you for the $25 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give some W's for Julie in the comment section. Thank you.
Okay. Well, so the inflation reason, that could be argued. Inflation, I just think that either president kind of has not as much of an effect on it as each party thinks they do. Obviously, some of the policies that they do affect the economy in some way. But then the border policies, I don't think that's totally bigotry. I think that people don't want illegals in their country.
Undocumented immigrants, and so
yes.
Okay. So why don't you want undocumented immigrants in the country? Why don't you want them to have documentation?
Why don't I want undocumented immigrants in the country?
Why don't you want them to be given a pathway to citizenship, so that they can have documents?
I want them to have a pathway to citizenship.
Okay, so where they don't have to leave the country?
where they don't have to leave the country.
Yeah, like, can we give a pathway to citizenship to any undocumented immigrant in the country who has not committed a violent crime or bad crime?
Yeah, we do have pathway to citizenship. But they have to go through a process. I mean, a lot of these people are coming in illegally, and then they have to get deported back. And then when they come in illegally, usually
No,
we don't want like a bunch of people to be coming into this country.
Wait.
Whether they
Why do you want to deport people who haven't committed violent crimes and bad crimes? Like, how are they making the country worse?
We can't just let everybody in the country. They can make it overpopulated. They could.
We don't have an issue with overpopulation right now. Right now, actually, in the long run, by 2050, according to the Congressional Budget Office, our population will start declining. Unless we have a higher level of immigration.
They could overpopulate the hospitals and make
you know that undocumented immigrants also work in the hospital?
Okay. But
so like how are they going to overpopulate the hospitals if they
a lot
also
of them,
provide
a lot
supply?
Of them are probably poor. A lot of them are probably don't make
undocumented immigrants after like time in the United States, they make a lot of money in the United States as well. There are a lot of undocumented immigrants that make a lot of money. You know that, right?
Undocumented immigrants that do not make a whole lot of money. I mean, most probably
sure. There are a lot that don't, but that's because of the current.
So then when they go,
wait, listen. I'm saying that's because of the current legal system that exists that doesn't allow for them to get paid as much as they should be getting paid. I'm saying, given that it is the case that they were under the legal systems, they would be able to get paid just as much, if not more.
They would be able to get paid just as much, enough more.
Yeah. By the way, the other guy left. By the way, everyone, chat.
Okay. So when these immigrants, if they come in, usually rich immigrants are not the ones trying to come into the United States. So when they come in, if they have to go to if they do go into a hospital, they have to get charged. They have to.
Wait, so please explain to me why you're associating like undocumented immigrants to be the only people that use the hospital. Like what?
I'm not, but I just think that they make the money. They make people's bills for that have to go to the hospital. American citizens that have to go to the hospital's bills more expensive because we're paying for undocumented immigrants.
Wrong.
I don't think that's wrong.
No, wrong, because if you're referencing emergency care, that happens for tourists too. So do you think that we should get rid of it for tourists?
I think that tourists are a lot less of an issue than undocumented immigrants coming in here and living here.
Then give them documentation. You say we can't accept more people into the country. That's bullshit. There's no economic reason to indicate that we can't accept more people into the country. If anything, it would benefit our economy more to accept more people in the country. If we look specifically under the Biden-Harris administration, the Congressional Budget Office indicated that the immigration surge that happened under the Biden-Harris administration will lead to an increase in the GDP by $8.9 trillion by 2034, which will increase our governmental revenues. It will better our economy overall. It helps you. The economy is going to be larger to help you out too, because undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants came to the country at a higher rate under the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay. I mean, that's one thing that you studied from obviously Biden and Kamala that's going to be, I mean, it could be biased. I'm not saying it is.
What's biased about what I just said? The Congressional Budget Office is a nonpartisan committee from the federal government.
I thought you said it was a study by Biden and Kamala.
No, I said the Congressional Budget Office.
Okay. I just think that, I mean, it's one of the biggest policies of Trump is the whole border policy. That probably is a big reason why he won.
What border policy of Trump's do you like?
What border policy of Trump's do I like? Just the one where he's not letting all. I mean, I like immigrants, and I think they should come in here legally, but I mean, we can't just let them all in illegally. We can't just let people from every country, not even just from every country, come in here illegally and just let them. Other countries don't allow this, and same with, I mean, just with everything. Other countries don't allow. It's like our country does. I mean, and even the Democrats, they know this too. Like Barack Obama, I believe, deported more immigrants than even Trump did in his first term.
Okay, but he did through the legal process.
Yes, and then Joe, and then
I disagree with the deportation of any person who has not committed a violent crime or bad crime.
You disagree with deportation of any person that's not committed a crime.
Anyone who's not committed a violent crime or a bad crime, insofar as that they should be deported, should be given a pathway to citizenship, and they should not be deported.
See, but I don't think I would agree with that necessarily.
What's wrong with what I just said?
Well, I mean, I kind of already went over this, like with the hospital things, and then the
hospitals won't be worse off. That's just fear.
I'm not saying they're worse off. I'm just saying it would raise the price of people's bills.
Technically, if anything, it would decrease them, especially if we did a overall system. If we had like a universal healthcare system, it would actually make it better because there'd be more people in the country. So more people being in the country, especially people who are younger, right, would specifically bring down the cost of insurance, because it is the case that there are more people who are healthy paying into a system to subsidize people who are sick.
Okay. And then I think that the other issue you said was the trans issue, and I think that's another issue for Trump that a lot of people probably like, is the trans women not being in men's sports.
Yeah. Trans women should not be in men's sports. They should be in women's sports, given that they've
should not
been
be in
multiple
women's
years
sports.
of HRT. Yeah, like that there'd be no unfair biological advantages you could point to that would mean that they should be restricted. And I think it would be incredibly otherizing to trans women specifically, right, to be ousted from playing, right? And specifically, can you name a single trans person playing in any sport?
Well, I mean, there was a swimmer that was popular. I don't know their name off the top of my head, but
yeah, and Leah Thomas specifically didn't like dominate the field. She didn't win every time.
She won a medal or something, but okay. I mean, she didn't dominate the field. I mean, I agree that the women probably could beat him or her, but I don't totally think it's fair. I mean, do you think it would be fair for a biological man that then becomes a woman to go
biologically male? After multiple years of HRT, there's nothing you can point to that would make it unfair. And by the way, like she and her is specifically like would be the correct pronouns.
Okay. I mean, that's another issue. I think that like Kamala goes up on stage and she says, how do you say it?
Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah, just say Harris.
Okay. She goes up on stage and she says her pronouns a few times. Like she stopped saying that now.
What are your pronouns?
What are my pronouns?
Yeah.
I'm a guy.
So what are your pronouns?
My pronouns would be he, him, but
so you just said your pronouns on a stage in front of 7,000 people. What's the issue with that?
It's been 4,000, but
there's 3,000 people on YouTube.
Okay. It's a bit ridiculous. I mean, in fact, we've gone hundreds of years without nobody like introducing themselves, saying their pronouns, and I think it's an unpopular like view that Democrats have is this whole trans issue just in general. I don't think this issue is
Can you name a single women's sports team?
A single women's sports team? I can name plenty of women's sports teams.
Go ahead, name one.
Okay, the Las Vegas Aces. They're a basketball team.
And do you watch the WNBA?
Not really ever.
Okay.
I mean,
is there anyone in the WNBA that's trans?
I'm not sure. Probably not.
Okay. So then why are you acting like it's some quote unquote massive issue?
I don't think it is a massive issue.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Well, you brought it up because you said that the trans issue, you named three issues that
I said people bought the bigotry towards trans people.
The bigotry towards trans people.
Yeah. Okay,
so I just wanted to hit on the
things you said. What about what I said was incorrect?
What about what you said was incorrect?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to call it bigotry, I wouldn't call it bigotry.
Why not?
Necessarily. I would just say that they are, I mean, they're supporting these issues that aren't very like winnable issues. That I think the Democrats would be better off if they like stuck to the policies more rather than like sticking to the culture wars. Like the culture wars or the
We're
identity.
not sticking to culture wars here. This
I'm
is
not sticking-
Republicans manufacturing a culture war specifically about trans people being in sports when that's not a non-issue.
Okay, and
right, like, and why should we be against trans people having rights? Because it is the case that Republicans have convinced people to hate trans people. That would be ridiculous. We stand on morals, compassion, and values, and that would be standing in support of trans people and their rights to be fucking human beings like everyone else.
Okay. And I agree with that, but then I don't agree that trans women should be playing in women's sports. I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair advantage.
Okay, I have a question. After multiple years of HRT, given that it's not fair, right? After multiple years of HRT, should they be allowed to play? Given after multiple years of HRT, that would make it fair. Should they be allowed
You think that would make it fair? I mean, I don't know if
after multiple years of HRT, it does.
I mean, I have not heard that, but I mean, okay.
Okay. I'll give you a specific example. If there's a certain trans woman, right, that is worse than the average cis woman, should they be allowed to play?
There's a certain trans woman that is worse than the cis woman. Should they be allowed to play?
Yeah, if they're worse than the average cis woman at a particular sport, should they be allowed to play at that particular sport?
I mean, I would say probably not, but I mean, I guess it would be
but
cool.
It's not unfair.
Because they're worse than them? That's why it's not fair?
If they're worse than the average cis woman, how would it be unfair?
Just worse on terms of skill or worse on terms of...
Worse in terms of skill, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still... Because men are naturally usually quicker and stronger.
Yeah, but I'm giving you... and we're not talking about men. We're talking about trans women. Right, and in the case we're referencing a trans woman that is worse than the average cis woman at a particular sport, should they be allowed to play?
I would say probably not. I mean, I would say no.
So it's not about fairness. It's about just restricting trans people from playing.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people would say probably not.
Okay.
Because I think
so
if
why
that,
are you acting
if
like
the trans person does
why are
win,
you acting like it's about fairness when I just asked you that if fairness wasn't an issue, would you care? And you still said you cared.
I just think that...
It sounds like you're pandering to bigots. It sounds like the Republican Party is pandering to transphobes and bigots, right, about their specific views on trans people and hating trans people in order to get votes, in order to distract away from economically related issues, specifically that they're harming the country on, like them taking money from the poor and giving to the rich, decreasing the after-tax income for the bottom 20% of income earners and giving money to rich people. And for the people in the comment section saying that they agree with the guest, right, please sit down for 1 second. Explain to me how you can agree with a position that is just contradictory right here. He just said he cared about fairness, and then right after showed he didn't care about the fairness, and he cared about them being trans. What is there to agree with?
I don't think that contradicts itself. I mean, I think
it absolutely does. You said it was
possible.
specifically only fairness. I specifically asked you, given that fairness was not an issue, and that it was the case that we have a trans woman that's worse than the average cis woman at a particular sport, should they be allowed to play? And you said no. So fairness not being a concern. Should they be allowed to play?
No,
and you said no.
They should probably have a blanket policy that trans women are not allowed to play in women's sports. I mean, it's probably...
Why?
I mean, we can't just let some of them in that are worse than the ones that are really good.
Why? Why would you do that? Given that there could be plenty of instances in which they would be worse than the average cis woman, and under your view, it wouldn't be a fucking issue on fairness.
Okay, so if there was an issue on fairness, would that be okay? If trans women just went into women's
I'm
sports
asking you based upon your view. You didn't care about the fairness, so why would you even ask me that question? You specifically said even if fairness wasn't an issue, you still wouldn't allow them to play. How about this? I'll give you this question. If on average, trans women specifically, right, had no unfair biological advantages under your own view, comparative to cis women, would you say that they should be allowed to play?
If they had no biological advantages?
Yes, none.
Just like hypothetical?
Hypothetical scenario.
Then it wouldn't matter.
Oh, because there's no effect on fairness. So why would you say that trans people, in which are worse than the average cis individual at that particular sport, shouldn't be allowed to play?
I mean, I don't think they totally. What do you mean they should? Because they are better. I mean, usually they are, but I mean, not all the time they're not.
But in the circumstance in which they're not, should they be allowed to play?
Okay, like you're right. Like if I was to go fight Ronda Rousey, I'd get my butt kicked.
Let me give you an example. Like for example, let's say a parent has a kid that's trans. Their kid is trans and they want to play, and they don't have any unfair biological advantages insofar as that would like give them some position above everyone else. Should they be allowed to play, or should they be restricted from playing?
Why? How would they not have a biological advantage if they're biologically a male?
I'm giving you an example where they don't have any biological advantages that would make it unfair. And at their specific age, they're not very prevalent insofar as that would make it unfair, especially if you haven't gone through puberty.
I mean, usually at a specific age, I mean, usually they're not even.
So puberty blockers, along with like there being HRT, right? Like later on. So like again, given that there have been puberty blockers in place, why
usually at a specific age,
why shouldn't they be allowed to play?
I mean, I don't know how old we're talking about here, but usually at a specific age, usually this issue wouldn't really matter until like high school or college.
Okay, so then you think trans kids should be allowed to play? So there shouldn't be a ban across the board on trans kids?
Probably in college there should be, and possibly in high school there should be too.
Why?
Because because men are naturally stronger and faster.
We're not talking about men. We're talking about trans women.
Okay, well okay.
After multiple years of HRT, and when they've specifically had puberty blockers, right? Those types of biological advantages are not present insofar as that it would be unfair.
Okay.
In the conditions,
I'm really not like
in the conditions when it's completely fair, should they be allowed to play?
Sure. I mean, if it's completely fair, I guess I wouldn't really see much of a problem. But I'm really not like
there you go. So
aware of what HRT.
I understand. But this issue that Republicans are generating and they're creating, they're manufacturing in order to be able to distract you away from all of the economically related issues created by the Trump administration, right, are specifically meant to drive into people's transphobia, right, and bigotries, right, specifically relating to trans people, in order to be able to literally create a culture war and divide us Americans. So how about this? Instead of playing into their culture war, the Republicans' culture war, how about you acknowledge that trans people deserve human dignity, deserve compassion, and that these are non-issues, and that you should be talking about the fact that there are 45 to 68,000 American lives that are lost every single year due to the lack of health insurance. You should be talking about the fact that Kamala Harris would have had a higher child tax credit than Donald Trump, which would have given working families, right, more money. Push the galaxy, thank you. You should be talking about how Donald Trump's tax policy takes money from the bottom 20% of income earners and gives massive tax breaks disproportionately to people who are in the top 1%. That's taking money from the poor and giving to the rich. You should be focused on that. You should be focused on literally the rich gouging you out of every single fucking dollar that you have. That's what you should be worried about. You should not be worried about your trans neighbors who are being disenfranchised by the same capitalists you are. By the same capitalist structures that we can specifically put safety nets to ensure that people aren't taken advantage of.
Okay. I mean, the trans issue. I mean, it's not really a big issue for me personally. I mean, I do think it's a losing issue for Democrats. However, like the way they usually phrase the issue. Just the way they speak about the issue. I mean, for instance. I just think like was it Elizabeth Warren that said that they should have trans?
What about the way that I speak about everything? Like for example,
not you.
Okay, wait. So my position's very vast within the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Because my position is actually concerned about fairness, right? People in general are concerned about fairness. And trans people, especially after multiple years of HRT and or specifically didn't go through male puberty, right? They don't have those specific biological advantages that would make it unfair. Therefore, it makes no sense to restrict people. And like the fact that the focus is on trans people in terms of fairness, I think is ridiculous. I think it's absurd.
Okay.
Right? Like if you're worried about specifically, right, like women, right, in general, if you're worried about protecting women, why would you vote for a guy that was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, that said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, that brags about grabbing women by the vagina without asking, that brags about walking in the changing rooms of girls in Miss TMSA because he quote unquote owns the place to inspect them without their consent, who's an active harm towards women? Why the hell would you vote for such a guy if you want to protect women?
I mean, I don't agree with everything Trump does totally, but I mean, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think that the trans issue, I mean, like I've said, it's usually probably, I think it's a decent one of the bigger issues why they lost the 20. I mean, not like the biggest issue, but
should it be considered a big issue?
I don't think it should be considered that big of an issue.
No, so then,
I think
so then why do you
a lot of
focusing
voters
on it?
Okay. Okay.
Push the Prince, thank you so much. So then why? So then tell me why you support Donald Trump over the Democrats.
Like, so policy wise, I think the economy, his first 4 years was probably better than the economy in Biden's overall 4 years.
In what way?
I think that, what was that?
In what way?
I mean, I think first of all, in Biden, we were kind of recovering from from COVID. And I think that
when you scroll the app, I can't hear you, but also be specific. Like, what was better about the economy? Like, what macro indicator, for example?
I probably don't have.
Can't hear you when you swipe out of the app.
I mean, I think that most people like you, I've talked to at least, I think they've said they feel like their money they've made more under Trump. They feel like the inflation was down more under Trump, and they feel like their dollar spent more.
Okay, so inflation. So you're saying inflation higher under the Biden-Harris administration. How was that caused by the Biden-Harris administration?
I'm not saying it is. I think that inflation is something that's an issue no matter what president's under, no matter what president is in office right now, that they need to figure out.
So then what specific thing was better about the economy because of Donald Trump?
I mean, specifically, I think his regulations too. He is pretty more anti-regulation than the Democrats and then Biden, which could be a good thing for the economy, and it could help.
So what specific regulations? Because he wants more regulations on the border.
Okay, well, there's probably plenty of environmental regulations that he's doing away with.
So you want to gut environmental regulations? That's bad.
I'm not totally saying that, but I think that
environmental regulations actually are incredibly important for the social welfare for society as a whole. I actually, when I took environmental econ in school, because I have an economics degree, I learned that the regulations that we put in place actually create a broader social welfare for society. Because when you impose the regulation, it brings the distribution and production to a certain level in which then doesn't create so many negative externalities. What's a negative externality? That's like something that is going to be a byproduct of something a certain business does, right? Or something someone does that could be unintended, right? That's going to negatively impact a third party. So, like, what's an example of that? An example of that would be a corporation pollutes a water system, and people who use that water system then develop chronic illnesses. Those chronic illnesses cost them money and society money as a whole, right? Which wouldn't have happened if the river and the water was never polluted. So regulations increase social welfare for society as a whole because they provide an internalization of costs that the society would go through for a company internally for themselves. Because if they don't have that internalization of costs, they're going to pollute because it's profitable for them. So we want to internalize the cost that society would undergo, right, onto the business by imposing a regulation. Does that make sense?
Yes, somewhat. I mean, I'm kind of following you. So, why do you like Kamala more than Donald Trump?
Kamala?
Like, I mean, what? Yes, Kamala.
Kamala, yeah, because she's advocating for policies that are meant to benefit working class Americans and middle class Americans, and she was willing to increase taxes on people who make over $400,000 a year in order to be able to pay for that. So she was more fiscally responsible. She understands facts and science. She doesn't say like Donald Trump that the climate's going to start cooling and that science just doesn't know it yet, right? So she's rooted in facts. Her policy specifically on Russia was significantly better. She wouldn't have pulled funding from Ukraine, right, which gave Putin more power over the region and more power over controlling Ukraine.
Okay. I mean, you could argue that you shouldn't be giving Ukraine a bunch, like billions of dollars.
Trump already started giving money back again because he realized that Putin conned him and wasn't actually going to like get a deal done, which is exactly what Zelensky and Harris said to him for the past like year.
Okay. So,
is there anything else you want to talk about, Rad?
I think that's probably it. I mean, unless you want to talk about something else.
For sure. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Jolish, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for Jolish in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Jolish. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Zoe, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Alexander with the $20. Thank you. Gloomy with the $10. Megan with the Galaxy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Annie, thank you so much for the $10. Fry, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As well as thank you for the $5. Muppet, thank you. Probably not. Probably not. Haley, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you. Bird, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Karina with the $5. Thank you. Tip, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Libby, thank you for the $1. Thank you. Yes, I should. Pinning that. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. Let me go on to the next person. Sorry, I was just responding to my girlfriend. Emily, thank you for the $10. Thank you. Somebody who says some crazy shit, but whenever defend, we will. We got you. We got you. We'll try to. Hopefully, you can convince them. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What flavor is Dean's fucking vape?
Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what?
Yeah, do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Why so?
You said what?
Yeah, why do you support Donald
Why do I
Trump?
support him? No, I just wanted to talk about the dudes in female sports.
So you don't support Donald Trump?
No, I do support Donald Trump.
Okay. And what did you just say?
Dude should be in female sports.
You don't think what? I couldn't hear you.
I don't think males should be in female sports.
What'd you just say? Say it one more time.
Men should not be in a women's sport.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you say that one more time? Sorry, what'd you say? Dude, I can't hear you, man. What'd you say? Push the VR goggles. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Liz. I don't know why he just left. He just completely paused. He just left. That was so fun. That was so fun. Oh my gosh, dude. That was so good. That was so good, dude. That was top tier, dude. That was top tier. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi. I'm 37.
And do you
but
support
I'm not
Donald
American.
Trump? You're not American?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. If you're on TikTok. Emily, thank you for the $5. Thank you. For everyone on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. It helps send it out to more people. I think, let me see how many likes we currently have right now. Let's check. How many are at? 2,000. Let's go. Let's get to 3,000. Let's go, chat. 3,000. Here we come. Okay, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump and meet the set of criteria on the screen. Let's go on to the next person. This person's already been on the stream. Let's go on to the next person. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
29.
Do you meet the set of criteria on the screen?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think.
What's your birth year?
Yeah, I obviously do. Yeah.
What's your birth year?
86.
Okay. So why do you support Donald Trump?
Are you allowed to be like a conservative by proxy, like by default? Is that a thing?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Are you allowed to align with conservative ideals without immediately having to support the person that mostly aligns with that conservative ideal in the country?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be me. I think that's
so you don't support Donald Trump?
I mean, I do by default. Yes, I think I do. Yeah.
Okay, why? Wait, how old are you, by the way?
I was born in the 80s.
And how old are you?
37.
Okay.
Do I sound younger than that?
Did you say 29 when you first got on the stream?
No. No. I said 86. Like the year.
I don't know why people think you said 29. I don't remember you saying 29. Okay, let me check.
Yeah, like a conservative.
That was so fun. That was so fun. Oh my gosh, dude. That was so good. That was so good, dude. That was top tier, dude. That was top tier. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Somebody saying I was 20.
I'm 37.
And do you
but
support
I'm not
Donald Trump?
American.
You're not American?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. If you're on TikTok. Emily, thank you for the $5. Thank you. For everyone on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. It helps send it out to more people. I think, let me see how many likes we currently have right now. Let's check. Shit, dude, this is going to take forever to find myself saying this. How many are 2,000. Okay, I'm not going to do this.
What is happening right now?
I'm sorry, man. I'm just gonna. It's taking too long for me to find it. I'm not gonna sit here and do that. I hope the chat's not fucking with me. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
I'm not comfortable getting food. Hello?
There's too much shit going on, bro. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump, everybody. We're about 4 hours in the stream. We got about 2 hours left in the live, everyone. Robert, thank you so much for the $5. And Valerie, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Yo, how old are you?
28. 28.
And what's your birth year?
1997, January.
Okay, so do you support Donald Trump?
Yes. So I'm a blue collar worker. Yeah, I'm a blue collar worker. And I don't support my tax money funding people who are confused about their not their race, their like male or female type stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like, so like right now in the military, they got this thing where like you're either gonna be a male or a female. You can no longer identify as a fucking orange or a fucking pineapple because like
what?
It just makes
what do you mean? I'm confused.
Like I don't.
No one was identifying as an orange in the military. I'm confused. Or a pineapple. Can you name me one person in the military that identified as an orange or a pineapple?
I've heard about trans people
Trans people don't identify as pineapples and oranges. What?
Well, then what do they identify as? Non-binary?
So some people are non-binary. Trans women are women and trans men are men.
I feel like I feel like if you're born as a man, you're a man, and you're born as a woman, you're a woman, and that's what it is.
No one's born a man or a woman because no one's born an adult. That's a ridiculous statement. You're saying people are born male and female, but we're saying that there's a distinction between gender and sex. We're not saying that there's the same gender and sex in every context. Like, that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing that gender in this context is used in a social dynamic, right? That is which based upon its social and cultural commitments, right? So like when I say like I'm referencing a man or a woman, right? A man would be someone who's committed towards the social and cultural norms that are typically associated with the male sex as a prescription of identity, right?
Right. Do you agree with abortion?
Well, what type of pivot was that?
I mean, okay, so what's your question?
Yeah, I actually have a question. BJA, do you think that MAGA is the party of facts or feelings?
Do I think that MAGA is what? Can you repeat that? I really didn't hear it right.
The party of facts or feelings?
Facts or feelings?
Yeah. Is MAGA the party of facts?
I mean, it depends. What do you, I mean, what policy are you talking about, brother? I mean, I don't understand that question.
Yeah, so I'm asking you if you think that the Republican Party bases their policies, specifically speaking about Trump, because that's what MAGA always says, we're the party of facts over feelings, right?
Basically, listen.
Okay,
if Kamala Harris,
I have a reason. I have a reason. Stick with me here. Stick with me.
Kamala Harris will not be keeping us out of wars. I'll just put it like that because she does not know. Okay, because nobody would respect her. Nobody would respect.
Trump bombed her.
You're pivoting. Yeah, Jesus Christ. You've brought up trans people, and then anyways, abortion and now war. The reason why I'm asking is because you said you feel like if you're born a woman, then you're a woman. If you're born a man, you're born a man, or then you're a man. And you started that off with "I feel like," and you guys claim to be the party of facts over feelings. Yet you come up here, every single fucking one of you. I listen for it every time. I wait to hear it. Every single one of you at some point go, I feel like, I think, I feel like, and you're up here talking about trans people, which you're speaking to one, and you're also speaking to a trans person in the fucking military, bro, who's been in for 13 years. I've been in for 13 years. So you can feel like whatever the fuck you want, disrespectfully, but it doesn't change reality. So if there's anything you'd like to ask me, go right ahead, but I have a feeling you're going to start fucking pivoting as soon as you unmute.
Watch this. It's going to be a clockwork.
Yeah, man, you're a trans, so I mean, if you're born a man,
person.
you're a man. Yeah,
I'm
so
a trans.
You're not trans, brother. If you were born a man, you're a man.
You didn't know. Oh, yeah.
I don't care if
I
you
was.
were.
You're right.
Hey, listen.
So curious. Do you think that I like dressing up like a woman?
Hold on. I have to hear his response to this. Unmute, bro. Unmute, please. Unmute, please.
Do you think I just like playing dress up?
I think that if you were born a man, you're a man, and your parents should be ashamed of you for not acknowledging that.
Oh, that's weird. My mom is pretty fucking proud of me. I have a pretty awesome mom.
I mean, I'm not a hateful person.
Yeah, you are. What do you mean you're not a hateful person? You just said wait. You just said that her parents should be like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? Oh my god, I just literally Jesus Christ, dude.
It's okay, Parker. I know that was going back and forth. Hey, BJ. I'm sorry, BJA. My bad. You're okay, Parker. Yeah. So the problem here is you literally can't. You didn't even know that like I was born assigned female at birth. You didn't even know, like, unless I told you up like straight away that I'm.
So I have a question. Okay, so why are you confused?
I'm not confused. The only person here confused is you.
Okay, so what made you transition from a woman to a trans?
Okay, I didn't transition from a woman.
You obviously did because you're confused. So what?
Hey, can you
talk to me about the transition?
I think that
now you're pivoting.
I'm not pivoting. I think you're embarrassed, and that's okay. I understand. But I would like for you to see me as a human being, right?
I see you as a human being. I respect you.
Okay, so talk to me like one then, bud.
I am. I'm not.
No, you're not. You just.
We're having a debate here. We're having a debate. You're making it a hate thing.
Hey,
I'm not a racist, brother. I am not racist. I
what the
respect
fuck?
all
Who
races.
said anything about racism? Who brought racism into this? You just brought up race out of nowhere.
Parker, what's your problem? Why does it look like you're out of breath?
Parker got stressed. Oh, okay. He just said I'm not a racist out of nowhere, and he missed it. Like there was nothing about race. All I said was I would like for you to talk to me like a human being because I think you're embarrassed right now. And then he said, "Look, I'm not a racist."
Jeez. I actually got angry with that guest. I actually really got angry at that guest. It really pisses me off. It really pisses me off when people say shit like that because he's acting like he's not hateful at all. Acting like he's not hateful. It's so fucking annoying. It's so fucking annoying. Oh, it really pisses me off.
What sucks is that there's people that are in the chat that are trans and they have to hear this shit. I want to shout out the mods really quick because mods are doing their thing. I'm in the mod chat for those folks and y'all are doing absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you to the mods, and I wanted to also say thank you to the supportive folks in the comments. You all are wonderful. I wouldn't come up here if these people like got to me. They don't, and I do it again so that other trans folks, when those people do get to you, it's valid. It's okay. Like, you don't have to pretend like it doesn't affect you. You don't have to pretend like it doesn't hurt, because that shit, I've grown some really fucking thick skin from it, but that doesn't mean that you need to. You shouldn't have to. You're valid. I love you. Parker loves you. That's why he's up here. That's why he fights for you every single day. If you're an undocumented migrant, I love you. Parker loves you. Like everybody, especially the dolls, y'all are fucking valid. You catch all the shit, I swear. They forget that trans men exist, which is exactly why he immediately assumed that I'm a trans woman. Yeah, and that's the only reason why Parker he had him so us both so fucked up. Like y'all think that you can tell, you can quote unquote always tell, but you can't. You had no clue. Anyways, thanks for having me up, Parker. Always, I appreciate it. And yeah, don't stress that. That wasn't that wasn't a thing.
Seriously, I'm so sorry. I really appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you a lot. He really got me. That like I don't know. It's things like that. Like I should just in that circumstance, I just need to like before I get myself to that circumstance, I just got to kick. Like I just know that I am gonna get emotional.
Yeah, no, you're totally okay. You're okay. And I think the normal like human response, like a human being with empathy, hearing somebody be hateful to somebody else, is to react emotionally, and I appreciate it. Like I think we all do. Yeah, no, I know that guy did call that guy called me a lot of really ugly things. For the people in chat, letting me know I was here. I heard it. But yeah. Anyhow, I appreciate you, Parker. If there are people that are asking how they can donate to me, I'm really not the kind of person to ask for that kind of stuff, but I do have a link in my bio if that's something that you want to do. Please don't feel pressured to do that. But I do appreciate you and thank you all for the gifts. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna hop down so you can get the next debate going.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
All right, good night.
All right, everyone. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
First of all, Parker, I
appreciate you. I appreciate you. We are just looking for some debates. I don't know why. I accidentally literally just like... I assume because they didn't answer my question, I just kicked them. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Bro, what? Why is it not adding someone up? Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay. Let's go on to the next person. I probably have another 50 minutes to an hour and 50 on the left on the live, everyone. Jolish, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously, though, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Nicole, thank you so much for the $15. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicole. Can we get some W's for Nicole in the comment section right now? Kyle with the $25. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kyle. Get some W's for Nicole and Kyle. Thank you so much. Jonathan, thank you for the $1. I really appreciate it. Robert, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. And Austin, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person here. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Let me actually set up the text on the screen so people can see. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Damn, man, I came in late, man. I ain't even see the subject, man. I don't support that orange turd, man.
Eli, thank you so much for the £5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I really appreciate you. So nice. So nice. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Sure.
That doesn't sound very convincing. Let's go on to the next person. Give me a second, everyone. Let's try to get the next person up here. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. And you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I'm in between, I would say.
Okay. We are just looking for people who meet the set of criteria on the screen. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, let's go on to the next person. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. It helps get out to more people. I think right now we're currently at 2.2 thousand likes. Let's try to get to 3,000, everyone. Let's try to get to 3,000. Victoria, thank you so much for the $9. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Kyle with the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Kyle. Can we get some W's for Kyle in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kyle. Can we get some W's for Kyle in the comment section? I accidentally just added this person. I already added them up earlier. Only set a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Again, W's for Kyle in the comment section right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria. Yo. Oh, you can't play any music on the stream, everyone, because I have monetization stuff on YouTube where it will take down the stream. So I just have to kick anyone that is playing anything. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you support Donald Trump?
21. Yeah.
What month were you born? Or no, what year? Sorry.
What year? 2003.
What month?
September.
Okay, and why do you support Donald Trump?
I support Donald Trump because he's not a Democrat who's pro like killing babies.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna thank someone real quick, and then we can go on to that and deal with whatever that just was. Sid, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much for asking a non-binary in a Republican family. Your streams help me feel seen and valid while processing my own views. It's been hard realizing not everyone, even my family, will accept me, but hearing you speak so openly has made it a little easier. Can we get some fucking W's for Sid in the comment section right now? Seriously, W's for Sid in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Sid. I really appreciate that. Can we get some W's for Sid in the comment section right now? W's for Sid. Always good to see you, Sid. Seriously, W's for Sid in the comment section right now. Okay, you said abortion. Do you think abortion should be illegal?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you think abortion should be illegal?
Yeah. Do you think abortion should be legal? Do you think it's moral?
What's it called? I think it should be legal. Yeah. So here's my question: why should it be illegal?
Why should it be illegal? Because it's murder. It's killing of an innocent life.
Why is it murder?
It's like, because you're killing a human being.
Okay, what's a human being?
A human being is a Homo sapien organism. That's like that grows by itself. So it's like all the same traits as an organism, and it's Homo sapien. All right.
Repeat that again. Sorry, I didn't follow.
It's a human being is a Homo sapien, right?
Okay.
That's the species.
Okay. I'm confused how that's, again, when we're referencing a human being, it's going to be at a certain point, right? So are you saying it's a human being at conception? Because, again, sperm cells are living and they're of the human species. I don't think that you think that they're human beings.
Yeah, here's the thing. Sperm cells aren't human beings, but the sperm cell is a part of a human being, like your skin, for example.
Exactly.
Right?
So then, like, again, but you said again, a unique living organism. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, a fertilized egg is a unique living organism. Sperm cells are not unique living organisms.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
No, they have the same DNA as the host.
No, they don't. They don't have 100% the same DNA, and also that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, they do have 100% of the DNA of the host. That's where they get the DNA from.
I'm not disputing that's where the DNA comes from, but I'm just saying that they don't. It's not identical. Do you think a
Yeah,
sperm?
but all the DNA is from the host. There's no unique DNA compared to the
It's from them,
fertilizer.
but like what you're not understanding is that the sperm cell itself does not have the entirety genetic like of your genetic code. At least to my understanding, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, my understanding
I
it
could
doesn't
be
have the
wrong, but
entire
like
genetic code, but
even if it
like
doesn't,
any
like even if
other
it doesn't,
part of
like
your body,
I
it's
can give you
just-
an example where you dispute this. Right? I can give you an example where you dispute this, right? Do you think that, for example, right, if we're referencing identical twins that have the exact same DNA, not all identical twins have the exact same DNA, but some do. And in some circumstances in which they have the exact same DNA, are you saying in that circumstance there are two human beings or one human being?
Oh, in that circumstance, there's two humans.
Okay, why?
I dispute that their
if there are
DNA
two,
is exact same.
wait,
I
their DNA is the
because there's
exact same
something
in some
called.
scenarios.
I dispute that that's even possible. I don't think that's possible. I'll have to look into that, but I'm pretty sure. I'm 98% sure only like maybe like a microsecond right after being fertilized, their DNA is the same. Right after being split, they subside two different environments, so they're taking in two different types of nutrients. So then that's when their DNA changes, right? Because they're
So you're saying there is changed DNA
because they live in different environments.
So you're saying because they live in different environments, they have different genes, or are you saying they have different genes
Yeah,
that are expressed?
their genes change. Yeah, because that's kind of how
gene
genes
expression or genes.
Genes, yes, genes.
You're trying to reference like gene expression?
Why would I be trying to reference gene expression? It's the genes that change, like they have different.
The DNA
like even identical
is that you're
twins,
referencing which genes are expressed in that DNA.
Why would you think I'm referencing that?
Okay. So given that there are circumstances where there is identical DNA between identical twins, would you say that there's two people or one person?
I already said I dispute that. I said a microsecond is one person.
Is it logically possible?
Right before, is it logically possible?
Yeah.
That because that's not how genes work.
What's the contradiction?
Okay. What do you mean? How's that a contradiction?
I said, what's the contradiction?
Oh, do you mean like propositionally, like your sentence is valid and sound? Yes,
it's valid.
Sentence is valid. Your proposition is valid and sound. Valid, but I'm saying your proposition isn't sound. My bad. I misspoke.
What about it? What proposition are you referencing?
Because when you're like referencing doesn't entail a contradiction, means you made an argument where P
I asked you if
equals not P.
I asked you if it's
referencing.
I asked you if it's logically possible. That's it.
Oh, you're asking if it's that all that means is did you contradict yourself? No, you didn't contradict yourself. I'm saying I cannot conceive. No, there wasn't a contradiction. I'm saying I can't conceive a world where because that's not how genes work, huh?
Is it logical? So like think about a hypothetical scenario where it is the case that there are two individuals that have the same identical DNA. Like think about it like this. You're thinking about alternate realities. Okay? And in two alternate realities, they have the exact same DNA because the only difference between those realities is like one small decision they made in life. In that scenario, are you referencing two people or one person? Because I think you're referencing two separate individuals.
Yeah. But I'm already disputing that they don't have the exact same DNA. That's just.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? The pain is terrible, Chad. That was horrible. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
I just think it's very clear that in the example, even if you dispute it in the world, like in the logical example, it's very clear there's two separate people, right? In the example I provided. Kyle, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kyle, thank you so much. They said you're the best debater of walking sperm cells that haven't developed a brain of their own I've ever seen, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you. Timmy, thank you so much. I appreciate the $3. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen here on TikTok. Yo, what's about you?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah,
How old are you?
Oh, my bad. But
you're good. You're good. I accidentally expanded them instead of kicking them. All right, everyone. We'll see how long I go tonight. Everyone, we'll see how long I go. If you're on YouTube, I'd really recommend to like the stream. We're almost at 3,000 likes, everyone. They're just trying to play music in the mic. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
17.
You got to be 18 plus to join the live. Do you see it on the screen? Billy Jane, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $15 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Billy Jane. I really appreciate it. Thank you. W's for Billy Jane. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey.
How old are you?
I'm 20, bro.
And what state do you live in?
I live in New Zealand, bro, but I've got some shit to say.
He was connected for like 3 seconds after I kicked him. Yo, what's up? How old are you? They're driving. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello. 24.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah. Not completely, but yeah.
Like if you could go back in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for? I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I'm on 20% battery. That little thing
You're
popped
good?
up. Yeah. I'd probably still vote for Trump.
Why so?
So I do want to talk about gender reassignment surgery. Before I talk about this, I was born with.
Can I just clarify? Can I just clarify? Like,
Yeah.
what
Please.
policy on gender reassignment surgery did Kamala Harris support that you disagree with?
I just don't support it as a whole.
So, like, what specific policy of hers do you disagree with?
I'm confused about the question. What are you trying to?
Which specific policy of hers do you disagree with?
I just don't agree with gender reassignment surgery. Just overall.
Even for adults?
Not particularly. And the reason why I say that is I believe that it's not medically necessary. And like, take people that have cancer for an example. We don't have an exact cure for cancer.
By the way, there are plenty of things that are not medically necessary, right? That people can get access to, and for plenty of trans people, it is medically necessary.
Why so?
Wait, specifically, like in the case in which it could specifically lead to them engaging in self-unalive.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Them engaging in self-unalive? They have a risk of self-unalive?
I'm not really understanding here.
I can't describe it to you in any other way on the live stream. I don't know what I said was confusing.
All right, so
I can't describe it to you in any other way without getting kicked off the live stream. Hello? He just left. Okay. What? All right. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
February 9th.
And do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Chad, I do agree. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria that are on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I am 39.
And do you support Donald Trump?
I supported him in 2016, but I didn't vote for him in this 2024 election.
Okay. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Please, everyone, only send a guest request if you're 18 plus, if you're American, if you are MAGA, and you have never been on the live before, everyone. So we are just looking for some debates. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you? You know what? I have never thought of it that way, dude. That's a good point. You know what? That's a great point. That was a great point. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. You know, I think that was the best point from a Trump supporter I've heard all day, chat. I'm not trolling. Best point from a Trump supporter. You know what's about you?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, well. Parker loses debate. You know, I should post that one to YouTube. Be like, Parker loses debate. I got destroyed. People ask me, have you ever lost a debate? I will play them that video. You know what's about you? Destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Never seen something like that before. You know, how old are you?
I'm 18. I'm 18. I was born February 18th, 2006.
You can't say where the road goes. Profile said 15, by the way. You know, I really don't understand why they don't like go into their profile and be like, I'm gonna take this out. Like they think of like to lie to come up on the stream, but not to like have the account go with the lie, you know? Yeah, what's how old are you?
32.
And do you support Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
And why is that?
The best for the economy.
Okay. How so?
Well, compared to the liberal rightists, he's more aggressive in his trade deals. Doesn't get pushed around.
So how are the trade deals doing for our job market right now?
At the moment, I wouldn't say they're the best, but obviously it's got to pick
They're
up
the
pace.
best. They're so good. You said that
Not
they're the best or not the best? Okay.
Not the best at the moment.
Oh, okay. So then,
Obviously,
why is it not the
anything-
best currently?
Well, first he's got to get all the migrants out of LA and California.
I'm sorry. Why do you want that to be the case? Do you want every single immigrant to be kicked out of California?
Absolutely.
Every single immigrant, including legal immigrants.
Well, the legal ones are legal, but the illegal ones.
Okay, so people who are in the country undocumented, you think should be deported, right? Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
There's a process that everyone has to follow. It's in place for a reason.
Is there a way you can mute the TV? Why just California, by the way?
Well, it's where the epidemic of the plague is right now.
Okay, epidemic? What do you mean by epidemic? And plague? He left, by the way. He said the plague and the epidemic. Like, what? As if people coming into the country is like an epidemic. That's like actually crazy. Or like plague. That's like, I hate when people do that. Or they say like that people are invading the country. I think that's like so fucking insane. Yo, how old are you?
I'm 34.
And do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
1990, September 23rd.
That is totally a fetus, Chad. That's totally a fetus. 34? Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yo, what's about you?
Downstairs. I was gonna watch them.
Oh, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Yo, what's about you?
Hello, I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2000, April 2005.
Why do you support Donald Trump?
What?
Why do you support Donald Trump?
Huh?
I said, why do you support Donald Trump?
What?
Are you trying to rage bait me, bro? It didn't work. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. My rage bait worked, though. It was so perfect. That was good. Wasn't it good? It was perfect. I knew it would rage bait the guy to leave the stream. You know what's about you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest.